Hello, my lovelies. I'm back. Back. Looking at you. How you doing? You look great. I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. I'm here to do a reading for you. It is a sneak peek for the week, and it's coming out on this Friday, so it's going to go from Friday to Friday, because who doesn't like it, weekend energy, right? So thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you so much for being patient with me. And as you've seen, if you've been here before, you know that I'm usually on the platform every day, but I took a little bit of time off. I'm telling you, this full moon kicked my ass. How about you? Look, I'm a Taurus Aries cusp, and there's a lot of crap going on in Aries, and then Chiron just showed up in Taurus, and woo, holy smoke. So here I am. I made it. Yay. I hope you're good. Thanks so much for clicking here, and let's get on with it. So let's figure out what's going on with these decks to the left. To my left, probably your right. But if you are somebody who's brand new here, I do this reading once a week. It comes out sometime during the week. I'm going to try and make it on Friday, so I kind of like that. And I read from 12 decks. So one deck for each of the members of the Zodiac. And I give you some information that is possibly coming up for you for the next 7 days. In the midst of all of that, I will bring your weekly readings as well. Thank you so much for the way that you loved on me for the month of June. It was such a great June, and we had so many people join, and we hit a new milestone, 70,000. So thank you so much for doing that for me. I appreciate you so very much. The only other thing I want to tell you is to please stop watching tarot for your sun sign, because you might have some of the story, but you don't have all the story. And I mean, if you don't want it, that's okay. But you know, as much energy that we can get, as much information as we can get from our sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign, why not? Natal charts are free everywhere. So I'm going to ask you to please stop watching tarot just for your sun sign. But if you want to, that's cool too. You do it whatever way it works for you. And one last thing, this is the last thing, I promise. There is a tarot private reading sale going on right now. It just began on the 1st of July, so I just want to say, first of all, happy Canada Day to all the Canadians that watch, and also happy 4th of July, because that's coming up tomorrow. So I hope you all have fun with your families. Please take care and be healthy, wealthy, and wise with whatever you do with your energy. But this particular sale is a summer sale. It's to celebrate those two special days. And so there is a 10% off sale on all my pre-recorded readings. Now, all of my live readings are always on sale. So I just put the pre-recorded reading sale on about every 3 or 4 months. It doesn't come around all the time, but if you're interested in that, please look at the pinned comment right below, and you will see there's a link to Hipsy. You can go there and check all my packages and pricing. That is where all the packages and pricing is. And if you'd like to do that, I would love to hear from you. It's already starting to get busy. Now, for those of you who are my members, thank you so much for all the way you support me in the membership. And if you are a member, there's a little bit of extra something over there on the community board for you. So if you want to just go over there and before you book any appointments, something special for you in the terms of the private read sale. If you want to know what that is and you want to be part of the membership, then please head over there. There are links in that pinned comment below. There's a link for the membership as well. All right, enough of the blah blah. Let's get to it. Let's find out what's going on. Look, I have allergies, which is why I haven't been looking at you lately. I had an eye that swelled shut. It was ugly. I didn't want to subject you to that. Let's find out what's going on for you, Aries. Aries, you gave me so much energy on that last bonus read. Thank you so much for doing that. My fire family, let's find out what's going on for you in the next 7 days. Aries, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for you, my fiery friends. Ooh, that one just popped right out. Did you see? It's like, here, Elsie, sat on my arm. We've got the Four of Pentacles. What is this about? All right, tell me about the Four of Pentacles. So for those of you who are sensitive to sniffles and all of that, I do some of that because I've got allergies and it's summer. All right, we've got the Five of Wands. What's going on here? So the Five of Wands is telling me that you're having a hard time making some sort of decision. You might be holding back because you still might be holding on to something in the past possibly, or there's something here that you are trying to do strategically. You can see that particular card shows somebody who's moving pieces on a board, on a chessboard. So it feels to me like before you do anything, I feel like you're holding on to some sort of strategic plan. And it might be because your strategic plan, you might need it because maybe there's a lot of competition for whatever you're about to do. Tell me more. More jumping out. Let's go. Let's go, Aries. We've got the Queen of Wands. Okay. You are about to do something. The King of Pentacles. Look, whatever it is that you're about to do, it feels like you're about to make a big, bold move. The thing is that the Queen of Wands is the ultimate in. I will not ask permission. I will ask for forgiveness if it doesn't work out, but I think it's going to work out. Yeah, I think it's going to work out fine for you. Aries, it is, the Queen of Wands to me is somebody who knows the consequences, but really doesn't care, because this person is somebody who is quite resilient. It's like, yeah, I've fallen down before, so what? Yeah. So I feel like you're like, I don't care. I fell down before. I got up before. So I feel like you are going to make a bold move, but I think before you do, you take one last look back. That's what it feels like. So I'm going to say that this Four of Pentacles tells me that the reason you haven't quite moved forward yet is because I feel like you want the win. We've got the Five of Wands here, and the one wand in the hand of the Queen is 6. That's kind of how I read. And so you want the victory. You want an absolute victory. That tells me you already are in your Emperor energy, whether you're a man or a woman. Women can have masculine energy that they lean into as well. So I feel like you are about to make a big, bold move that I think you're expecting to win, because I feel like the Six of Wands being here tells me that you're going to be in the spotlight, that you are, maybe you're pushing yourself into the spotlight. Maybe you're becoming the face forward facing for something. But it does feel like here that you're waiting for the right moment to do it, because I feel that from the Four of Pentacles. Tell me more about Aries for the next 7 days. Wowzers. Here's the Empress. Okay. Your abundance is here and your celebration is here. Look, I feel like you are part of a group of people who are excelling at life like you. Or possibly you're feeling inspired by somebody who is an Empress, inspired by somebody who is also the Queen of Wands, because the Empress is all of the queens in wisdom, right? So I feel like this Queen of Wands being here is maybe you're taking a page from the Empress book and saying, you know, the Empress got their happiness, their celebration here, then why can't I? It feels like somebody here is inspiring you, whether they know that they are or not. It feels like this is a group of people who it feels like their specialty is to jump through hoops. That's what it feels like to me. So I feel as though you are in this group of people, and this group of people are used to celebrating things that they've accomplished, King of Pentacles, in the 3D world. We've got the Nine of Swords. So I feel like, sorry about this. I feel like this Nine of Swords tells me that you are a little bit worried, because you know you're going to have to jump through some hoops in order to be able to get your victory. But I think your victory is something that you're going to get, or the King of Pentacles wouldn't be here to assure you that if you've gone over all the details and you have everything that you need that is in place in terms of your plan, if you have enough information, you've studied enough, you've moved slow enough. It feels like if you've got all of that information, there's no reason why you shouldn't end up in this King of Pentacles energy, which is excelling, right? Excelling financially, or property, or something that you're going to be benefiting from, time, effort, energy, money, right? Could be your health. We've got the Justice card. There you go. The Justice card is coming up above the King of Pentacles. So just sort of confirming what I said. Yeah, you're going to get what you want, my friend. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. It might be something, maybe you're deciding that you need to start a business or do something by yourself, or it feels like something you have built by yourself. So it feels like you've done this by yourself, and I think that something is about to be restored. Now, when the Justice card shows up, we all know that Justice is holding a sword, because that's Libra energy, right? It's also balance, it's restoration, it's harmony, but it's you getting your justice, and it comes up above the King of Pentacles. So you getting justice in the 3D, but also the Justice card being below the Nine of Swords tells me, with 10 swords in the picture here, that there is something here that you need to release. It's a mental thing. You have the energy, you have tenacity, you're very brave, and you're going to go for it, but you first got to get over the head game. It feels like you've got to release something in the mind first and realize that this is something you can do alone, because you've built it all the way to here, all by yourself, friend. One more. Woo! There we go. The Tower shows up. Look at this. Look at that. It feels like there's a realization of all the work you've done. All the work you've done, how popular you are, how stable you are, that you are somebody who is very confident in what you do. it feels as though you're being put to the test, Queen of Wands, taking your leap forward or making a bold move, something that's in the 3D. It could be a job, a career, it could be a new way of living, your health. Maybe you're moving, but it feels like something here is what you're not expecting is that you are getting justice in the Nine of Pentacles, and I kind of love that because this is the place where you get to stand and look around and say, yeah, I did that all myself. We've got the Five of Cups. I feel like whatever sadness or worry or feelings of regret because you didn't do it or you didn't do it fast enough, because Pentacles move really slow, right? With the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Pentacles here, we have 10 Pentacles. I feel like somebody here was worried they would never get here, but it almost feels like you stand and you look around from the top of your kingdom going, yeah, I did that. I did that. I don't think you expected it though, because it takes a tower for you to realize it. That's what it feels like. Tell me what the outcome is for Aries. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. All right. Tell me why. We've got the Ten of Wands. And we've got the Two of Swords. Look, I feel like you're releasing a financial burden. That's what it looks like here. Feels like you're releasing a financial burden. This could be a person. This could be someone who maybe said you couldn't do it, and maybe now you're mirroring their energy. You're maybe at the same level that they are. So maybe somebody in your workplace said, look, you're not qualified for that. You don't have a degree. They're never going to hire you. And even though you don't have the degree, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is the tenacity to build it on your own, especially for Aries. If someone told you you could not, you're like, really? Okay. All right, then you'll see when I get there. So I feel like I'm going to say that there was some sort of a financial burden, or the burden of abundance, or the burden of things going too slow. I feel like you get to release that burden with the Ten of Wands here. You get to release that burden, but that burden is also, I feel like the reason you get to release it is because the Two of Swords is here. And I feel like the burden of making a decision, because I feel like with this person's eyes covered, it feels like the universe has been trying to teach you that you've got to feel it before you go do it. You have to really have a feeling of temperance, or listening at least to your intuition. So it feels like you're about to leave the crossroads, friends. It feels like you're at a crossroads where you do have to make some sort of decision, but because the Ten of Wands is here, I love it, between the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. It feels like with the Ten of Wands that these are things you get to release or you get to drop. Let's look and see what's going on in the future here. What's just around the corner for you. The bottom of the deck did have the Ten of Cups, by the way. Let's see what's around the corner for Aries. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, there you are, the Emperor. Oh gosh, look at this. So I did say at the beginning of doing your read that I thought that you already felt like you were in the Emperor energy, right? And then what I was talking about, the 6 wands here, look at that. They come up side by each. Yeah, I feel like you have enough knowledge. I feel like you've given yourself enough space or enough time to learn things, to come to your wisdoms. And I feel like the Five of Pentacles is here saying, this is where you came from. I feel like this is where you came from, that you lived in a lot of lack, or that maybe money was very tight at some points. But I feel like you're about to release a financial burden, friends. So if that is something that you have been worried about, you're about to get the victory. We've got the Nine of Cups. There comes your wish fulfillment. I'm just saying, bravo, my friend, bravo. All right, I'm going to give you some energies here. Excuse me. All right, so we have Aries and Scorpio. We have more Aries. We have more Scorpio. We have Virgo and Libra and Cancer and Libra and Taurus and more Libra. Look, there's a lot of balance coming for you. Something is balancing itself out. You're getting your justice. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The King and the Queen of Pentacles are here. So it almost feels like somebody said, yeah, you think you can do that? And I think that they, don't challenge Aries. Don't tell them, don't put them in a round room and tell them there's no corners, because they'll get the tools to build one. And I think that this is what happened. I feel like somebody put a fire under you by saying, no, that's not for you. You're never going to do that. Well, I think you would be wrong if you were the one that tested the Aries. All right, Taurus, how are you, my bull gang? Hope you're well. Thanks so much for showing up here. Taurus, you really came at me with this last bonus read I put up. I am so grateful. Thank you so much for all the ways you love me on this channel. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus, in the next 7 days. If you have a sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Jupiter in Taurus, something here could be for you. Tell me about Taurus, please. Tell me about my bull gang. How are you healing, Taurus? What's healing for you? Tell me in the comments, because Chiron's kicking my ass. I'm telling you. Okay, so 7 of Pentacles. Something here you've been waiting for, working on, working really hard here. Okay, everything's falling out. 2 of Cups. We've got the Hanged Man, and we've got the Queen of Cups. Interesting. I feel like if you've been waiting on something to do with emotions or the depth of emotion or a person you have feelings for, something like that, it does feel like, Taurus, that I think this is somebody you already know, because the 2 of Cups indicates that you have already shared some things with this person. Things that you wouldn't just tell anybody you just met. So, that's bonding, right? Bonding through sharing secrets and giving each other emotional reciprocity. And so it does feel like we are talking about someone you know, if this is romantic for you. We could be talking about a situation that's going on in the workplace. It could be romantic. It doesn't have to be. The bond with the 7 of Cups tells me that this could be a place of work, and that you are bonded with the employees around you. It feels like here with this Hanged Man and the Queen of Cups, it feels like you've been waiting on something, like something's been in a pause, or that you're kind of getting perspective. I'll show you how they showed up here. There is the Hanged Man is looking right over at the 2 of Cups, trying to get a different perspective of this. So it almost feels like you've been waiting so long that this almost becomes like a working relationship or a practical relationship. And I feel like you have very deep feelings, or you feel deeply about what's going on here. But it almost feels like you're in a pause, and you're like, but I'm not going to act on it because I got to get perspective. What am I going to have to sacrifice, especially if it's in a workplace? What am I going to have to sacrifice if this does work or if this doesn't work? This could simply, the 7 of Pentacles could simply just mean you've been waiting a really long time. It feels like you could have been building something on your own, or maybe growing something on your own. And it feels like you've put a lot of hard work into some sort of bond or bonded relationship that is on a pause currently. So we could be talking about, the Queen of Cups for me is a parent, it's a mother or a father, usually a mother. But it feels like there's been a pause in place, and that there has been no reunion here, I will say, because the 2 of Cups is here, and so is the Queen who's carrying a cup. So it feels like I haven't seen this person in a long while. There's been no reunion. We used to be so close. We're not really anymore. It feels like you are trying to get a perspective about how you really feel about it. Because if somebody sort of leaves you and doesn't talk to you, or you pull away from someone else, now we have to worry about how hard do we really want to work on this. I've been waiting this long. Like, maybe I just don't really need it. It's like the box you find in your basement or in your closet that's been there for 6 years and you've never opened it. Do you really need the crap that's in there? It's like you start to wonder if you really need it or not. What we have above the 7 of Pentacles is the Ace of Swords. So yeah, it feels like we need to get some clarity or some communication, some practical communication about whether we're going to put any more work into this or not. Whether I'm going to work as hard as I used to on this. We've got the Temperance card coming up. So I'm going to say that when we have the conversation, it's not a mean conversation. It's not anything that we're going to argue over. It feels like with Temperance here in the Ace of Swords, it tells me it's a very even sort of, it's going to be a communication that's going to be healing. But it's also, I feel like we're going to get out of this place of high highs and low lows. And when Temperance shows up, everything is evened out in a moment, right? So it's a very sort of confident conversation that I don't feel is something we're going to argue over. No, it feels like this is going to be a healing conversation, but it feels like someone's going to be tuned in or get some clarity. The 9 of Wands has been here. So I feel like somebody is about to tell the other how very hurtful it's been. Because I feel like Taurus, the 7 of Pentacles being you, right? It feels like you are you're a person who's very loyal. You work really hard. When you're all the way in. That's why, like, when you're in a friendship or in a relationship, you go all the way in. You're unlikely to be the person who unplugs first, unless it's not working for many, many years. And so I feel like you're like, you feel as though somebody's been taking maybe a little bit of advantage of your emotional self and how compassionate, kind, and loving you are. Tell me more about Taurus. we've got the High Priestess. So it feels like the High Priestess with the Nine of Wands above it and the Queen of Cups below it. It feels like you're feeling some type of way of, and being very silent about it. It's like, I don't think it's worth talking about it this time because it might just cause aggravation or arguments, and I'm not wanting to do that. It feels like you want to heal the situation. So we've got the Five of Cups in the reverse, but it feels like you don't want to have any regrets. It feels like you either want to come together and talk about this, or you want to just shut the door. Because I feel like you don't do really good in the murky water. You want to know if it's on or off. If it's a light color or a dark color, you want to know exactly what's going on. You don't want to have to, wonder. You just want to say yes or no, give me some clarity. I want to know what's going on here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So it does feel like there is a goal. The goal is to not have any remorse or any emotional regret about not closing this door. I want to know what's going on. Tell me what's going on and let's talk about it. But I feel like there's been a lot of silence here, and it feels like there's been silence here because I feel like you're trying to listen to yourself. So maybe you've been spending some time alone and you're trying to listen to your intuition saying, do I really need this? Is this the place where I want to put all my energy? The Knight of Pentacles tells me that this has been quite a journey and maybe an emotional one for some of you, but I think it's slowly becoming less emotional and more practical because the Knight of Pentacles here is not here to be emotional. This is not the emotional knight. This is the one who will stay in until it's done, until the lights are on or off. I just don't like when the dimmer switch is there. I don't like the dimmer switch. I just want to know clearly what's going on here. And then we have the Magician. So I feel like the Magician tells me that you know that the ball is in your court. So I don't know what that means. It could mean that maybe you sent the last text. It could mean that maybe you're the person who said, yeah, look, give me a call. I'd love to do that. And you didn't hear anything. It feels like the ball's in your court and you're the person who has all the tools that you need in order to move forward and create your life, create your path. I feel like you're a creative person. Maybe you're a person who loves to spend time creating. Look, maybe you're a full-time painter, or maybe you're a writer, or it feels like creation, like you're always in this very creative energy. And I feel like you're like, this is the end goal is not to make sure that I have you as a friend or as a lover, or that I make sure that I contact you every day. That's not my goal. My goal is to enjoy the journey. And when the outcome arrives, then I'll look at whether I'm still interested in the outcome. So it does feel like the only thing that I think that you want is more information so you can decide whether you're going to be regretful about this or not. And with the Five of Cups showing up in reverse, I don't think you are. I don't think you're going to be regretful. If somebody wants to be with you or be in your life, they're going to have to give you a little bit of reciprocal energy, or you're just not going to bother. Tell me what's coming up in the outcome. Five of Wands. So I feel like the Ten of Swords being here as well, and the Ten of Cups. Look, I think that you see the value in whatever it is that I'm talking about. You don't want to let it go. You don't want to call them up and say, hey, don't call me again. You don't want to text them and say, look, I'm pissed off you didn't text me. I don't think you want to lose it. I think you see the value in it, the value in keeping it in your life long term, but the Ten of Swords has shown up here as well. And so it can't be hurtful. I need to know what's going on. I need to know if this is going to be a betrayal or if I'm going to let it go or what's going to go on. But with the Five of Wands here, you've not been able to make a decision. This is indecision. This is maybe competition. Maybe you think that if this is a person you're dating, maybe you're wondering if people are in the DMs. It feels like you want to release the competition, or you don't want to feel in competition with other friends, other people. And I feel like you don't want to be betrayed. But you see the value of this and you do want to carry on long term. But I think that somebody here needs to step up, because I think you're in your Magician energy, which tells me that you are very consumed with what you're creating in your life right now. And you don't really have your eye on somebody who's just going to play the silence game. I don't think you are interested in that. So I think that you know that the silent game right now is because somebody is thinking on it or thinking about it or trying to make up their mind about it. Tell me what's around the corner for Taurus. We've got the Three of Wands, we've got the Page of Swords, and we've got the Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Look, this is the only deck. It's this deck. I forget what it's called. It's in my Amazon store. But the Three of Wands is this particular depiction. You can see here somebody has been ghosted. Like they're sitting here waiting. They bought the coffee. They're sitting there waiting for the person to show up. Maybe you got stood up. Maybe somebody here is is making you feel deeply emotional, but also making you realize that possibly you don't really need them, because the ace is in the hand of the page. And when the page is here, it's like, look, I've already taken my shot here. I'm not going to waste any more arrows. I'm taking another shot. It feels like you are observing something from a distance. And I feel like it feels like here you've already got your answer, I'm going to say, because the Three of Wands tells me that it doesn't matter who goes to you. You're going to go into the future anyway and continue creating, because the Magician energy is here. You're going to continue manifesting. You're going to continue creating in your life, regardless of how whoever this is and how they feel. But the Four of Swords is here. And so the Four of Swords is telling me that I really would like some clarity. Fours are always stability. And so clarity of the mind. I do want to heal this, but we have the Ace of Swords in the hand of the page, and then we have the 4, which is 5. We might be trying to clear up fundamental differences, and it's really not usual to clear up fundamental differences. They're fundamental for a reason, and that is because I believe one thing, you believe another, and we're just never going to agree on that thing. It's like someone saying, sorry you feel that way. You know? One more card. We have the 7 of Swords. So I don't think at this point you know what's happening. I feel like you've been overthinking it or thinking about it a lot. It feels like with the 7 of Swords that somebody here is being silent with you or something's being concealed. But I feel like regardless of whether the person shows up at the restaurant or not to have the coffee or to have the date or whatever it is, I feel like you're just like, fine, skippity-doo. I'll just keep going then. And now I know what your position is. You might be surprised though. We've got the page here about the 3 of Swords and yep, the World card here. So I feel like this might be what ends up being your outcome here. It feels like, surprisingly enough, somebody again ghosts you, or they're not able to come forward because they know that you're going to be very honest with them with all these swords here, and that you might just close the door rather than feeling heartbroken. I feel like you're just going to close this door. Probably still feel a little bit heartbroken if I'm honest, and then the Page of Cups is here. I think you're just going to go into something new and realize that there are new friendships everywhere. We've got the Page of Cups here and the 3 of Pentacles with the Death card. So you realize, look, this isn't the last person. It would be nice if this person would show up for me, the date, the relationship, the best friend, somebody who I think there's fundamental differences with, so we can talk about it. And if we can't talk about it, it is what it is, right? We've got Gemini and Aries. So I feel like this is going to be some conversation that clashes just a little bit, because I don't think you're willing to give as much as usual, maybe because Chiron's in Taurus, but I feel like you're not really ready to give as much as usual. We've got Aquarius and Libra. We've got Virgo and Aquarius again. We've got Scorpio, more Libra. We've got Pisces. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces again, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, more Cancer, and then we've got Taurus energy. All right. Let's find out what's going on with you, Gemini. How you doing? Tell me about Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini, you're in my house of, you're in my, what is it, 7th house? Is it 7th house? Yeah. Yeah. You are in my soulmate house. Look, I love a Gemini. I do. I love a Gemini, especially Gemini rising, because I'm Sag rising and I'm silly, and Gemini rising is silly. Let's find out what's going on for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter over the next 7 days. Tell me about Gemmies. We've got the 2 of Wands. You're about to make some sort of a decision here. We've got the 10 of Coins. It might be financial. It might be a long-term thing. Like, you know that once I'm in, I'm all the way in. Like, I'm in for at least a good 10 years. It feels like it's something long-term that you're about to make a decision about here, Gemini. We've got the 4 of Wands in the reverse. You might be selling a house. And the Hermit energy is here. It does feel like you are about to make a decision, but you're gathering more information. It feels like you're waiting for the light to go on. I would say that's what it feels like. You're waiting to get some sort of inspiration or for the light to go on. Look, I've got enough. I've got all of the information. Virgo doesn't miss anything, right? Virgo is the Hermit. And it feels like with the 4 of Wands being in the reverse here, there could be a few things going on. It could be, is this over? Am I just going to move out? Or am I just going to sell the house? Or maybe I'm just not as happy as I thought I was here. This could be a location. Maybe you're going to a different job. The 10 of Pentacles is here. But it feels like with Virgo, they've got Hermit and 10 of Pentacles on either side of the 4 of Wands in the reverse. So it tells me that you're really scrutinizing the situation and going over details, because I feel like with the 4 of Wands in the reverse, it feels like you're either not ready to go to the next level, or somebody stops you from going to the next level, or you can't make the decision about whether you want to go to the next level. But the 4 of Wands could be in the reverse because this just isn't any fun anymore. I'm here and I'm making money and I'm making decisions, and now I've got to make the ultimate decision, which is, am I going to sign the contract, be in the relationship, stay in the job, change jobs for the next long while? 10 of Pentacles. It feels like you see the value in it. You see the value in selling or buying the house, or you see the value in making this decision. We've got the 7 of Swords, and I feel like that's why you're stuck at the crossroads here. The 2 of Wands is stuck at the crossroads. This particular depiction shows the sun on one side and the moon on the other. So it feels like you have a decision to make here. The 7 of Swords has come up on the 2 of Wands. It feels like you feel you don't have enough information, or something could be concealed that you haven't seen yet. It feels like I better go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Now look, we are in Mercury retrograde, and you know, all the things that can go wrong. One of them is that communication's not good, or you might miss something. So I would say if it's a legal thing, please get another set of eyes on it. The 7 of Swords is Aquarian energy, and Aquarius to me is the judge, the magistrate, the lawyer. So make sure that you have another set of eyes on whatever your decision-making process is. The next card out is the 4 of Swords, because you need to be clear on whatever it is that you're doing before you make a decision to move forward here. Because once you make the decision to say yes to whatever it is, the 6 of Wands just showed up. Then it becomes a fight to get out. Then it becomes a fight to the death. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like there is something here that you want to be very sure about with this Libra energy in the 4 of Swords. I want to make sure I'm clear about it. I want to make sure that I have no apprehension, that I'm not going to hold back for any reason. But I need to make sure that I have all the details, because there's something here I don't trust, possibly, or something that you think could be concealed from you. So these are the reasons why you're in Hermit energy and not necessarily making this decision right now, because the 4 of Wands is in the reverse. Then the King of Wands shows up, which is the one who has learned to hold back, not make a quick decision, not run at it and then just say, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. It feels like that you are, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. It feels like here that you have wisdom. You've grown up, you have wisdom, you know how to hold your fire back, and you know when and where to use your fire, right? They've got the King of Wands here that has a lot of wisdom. We've got the 5 of Coins. Because this could have happened before. 5 of Pentacles is here. This could have happened before. I remember in my wisdom that I did this before. I didn't see all the details. I missed something small, and that it impacted me financially, or made me feel in lack, or made me feel on the outside looking in I didn't get what I wanted. And then we have the 6 of Cups. It's a memory. Yeah, it does feel like a memory of something that made you feel emotionally in lack. So we could be, this particular thing could be attached to your emotions, whether you get the victory or the win. And the reason why you want to fight so hard for it, the 6 of Wands here, is because you don't want a repeat of the past. If you're going to go for it, you're going to go for it. But you are somebody who does, somebody who is going to do it with your wisdom this time. We've got the 2 of Swords, yeah. So I feel like this is a really hard decision. It feels like you're at a crossroads here of knowing that it feels like the World card is involved, is what it feels like. That I know that if I go this way, I got to cut that way out. I got to just leave it all back there. I'm never going back there. It feels like it could be the sale of a house or a family home or some place that you've raised your children. It feels like it is something that used to bring you joy that doesn't really bring you joy anymore. It just feels like work. So we have the 2 of Swords, tells me that you are trying to make the right decision. I like that the 2 of Swords is nestled up against the Hermit, because that tells me you're really looking into your intuition. I'm really waiting to feel it and not necessarily see it before I make the decision. Tell me what the outcome is for Gemini. Why do these readings seem so long already? All right, we've got the page, sorry, not the page, but the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's a really big deal here. King of Swords, we were just talk about the King of Swords, and the King of Swords appears. So look, I feel like you, in the future, you stop holding back. I feel like you do make some sort of decision. For some of you, it could be that it's not clear, right? It could be that you're taking your time. It could be something romantic or deeply emotional for you. It feels like there is something you want to take your time on because you don't want to make the wrong decision. Because with the Two of Swords here, you know that once you stop holding back, get courageous, make the decision, move forward, it's going to move quickly. And then the Death card being here, it's going to change everything. Going forward, nothing here is going to be the same as it ever was. You're going to have to close the door on something that you know you'll never see again or never have again, which could account for the house, right? So going to the outcome, we have the Ace of Pentacles, but look what came up beside it. The Wheel of Fortune is here. So look, I really do feel that this is a moment of destiny for you, that something here is about to expand. And it feels like it could be your mind. You could be changing your mind about something, Uranus and Gemini. But it feels like you are really sticking to the details and the facts. You're not making any decisions here that are emotional. You're sticking to the details, the facts, because you want to be aware that the change that you're making is practical. The Ace of Pentacles is here. And it's not only practical, but I do feel with the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles here, I'm just going to say, whatever it is, if it's a sale of a house, you're going to get more than you asked for it. Or if this is a job that you're going to, the contract is going to be like crazy good. It feels like whatever seed you have planted is here now to bloom in divine timing, and something here is changing and expanding. And I feel like it's something that you are looking at with a very discerning eye, because the King of Swords is here. Tell me what's around the corner for Gemini. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Five of Cups. Ooh, Queen of Swords is in the reverse. What's going on here? So the Four of Cups, of course, is you're going to have to get outside your comfort zone, my friend. And that might be a reason why you haven't made a decision yet. This is something really far outside your comfort zone. Yeah, I really do feel with the Five of Cups here that this Four of Wands, again, is telling me this used to make me really happy. Look, maybe you're house poor. Maybe you wanted to move into the 5-bedroom, 3,000 square foot home, and now it's just eating its way through your bank account. And I thought I was going to be happy with this, but I'm really not. It doesn't have to be that, but it does feel like something that used to be celebrational, joyous, stable, fun, exciting. It could be a relationship. It feels like it's just no fun anymore. Five of Cups is here. Now, I feel like you need to step outside your comfort zone in order to complete this deal. The Queen of Swords is in the reverse. I could be talking about a divorce or two people who are splitting assets and selling a house. Because when the Queen of Swords shows up in the reverse, this person is still being clear and concise, but this person doesn't really care if they got you with their words. So it feels like it's a bit of a battle of words. It feels like a sword fight. The Queen of Swords is in the reverse, and it feels like it's a sword fight, but it's an emotional sword fight. So you know what I mean? Like it feels like, because all this water is here, the 5 is here, the 4 is here of Cups, and it feels like with the Queen of Swords in the reverse, it's somebody who knows how to push your buttons. That's what it feels like. So whether that's in the workplace or that's somebody that you know that you've been with a long while, 4 of Wands, it feels like what you're fighting for is peace. I just want the answers. I just want the truth. And I don't want to have to drag a lawyer through it, but if that's what you're going to make me do, then I'll do it. That's fine. Don't test Gemini. We've got the 3 of Swords here. So I feel like this whole thing is heartbreaking for you. I don't think you wanted it. I don't think that this is something that you started. I think that divine timing is here and you can't stop it, is what it feels like. This is something that was supposed to happen, and maybe you held on to it for a really long time because the 4 of Cups is here. It was your comfort zone, right? So maybe it was that, and now it's come to a place where the 3 of Swords is here. The Queen of Swords is in the reverse. You know, sometimes when we stay in a vibration too long, we get pushed out of the vibration because, you know, there's no place left to grow. And that's what it feels like here, that the Wheel of Fortune is here because it's time for you to grow past your comfort zone. Yeah. And 8 of Cups is here. It's time to just leave this in the past. It feels like it's time for you to walk away because it's not working for you. No, not at all. It does make you feel emotional though at some point. We've got Libra a couple times here, 3 times here. We've got Scorpio and Taurus. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, of course. That's your energy. King or Queen of Swords, right? We've got Libra and Leo, This could be happening in Leo season. I mean, it's supposed to be for the next 7 days, but maybe this starts now and doesn't end until Leo season. We are just in the middle of Cancer season right now. We've got Virgo and Aries. We've got more Virgo energy, Aquarius, and more Aries energy with Pisces. All right. I thought I was going to sneeze about 4 times. All right. Cancer. Happy birthday, friends. How you doing? How is Cancer season for you? And please tell me when your birthday is. I just want to show you a little bit of joy. Thanks for doing that. Tell me in the comments when your birthday is. Let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Cancer, please. In the middle of Cancer season, tell me how retrograde feels for you in your sign, because it's sort of emotional reflection, but it also is dragging up things from the past, right? So it's dragging how you feel up to the surface here. So tell me how you're feeling. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, we have the 8 of Pentacles starting you out. We have the Fool. Okay, are you starting something new? It feels like you're thinking about taking a leap into some sort of 8 of Pentacles. To me, the 8 of Pentacles is working hard on something, but also could be self-mastery. But it feels like something that you want to be the subject matter expert on. So maybe you're an accountant and you want to add some accreditations to that. Is that accredits? You want to be a smarter accountant? I'll just say that. Credentials, that's it. It feels like there's something here, like you might be going back to school. It feels like you want to be the subject matter expert on it. Maybe you're a general dentist and you want to be a maxillofacial surgeon. It feels like something that you, like a specialty, but with the Fool here, it feels exciting, really exciting, exhilarating, but also terrifying, because it's almost like going back to the beginning. It's like you already know how to do the job, but you're walking into a space where everyone else probably knows it better than you. And so you're kind of feeling around in the dark just a little bit. We have the Temperance card, but don't worry. I'm going to say don't worry, because everything comes into balance here. I think that if you are not even thinking about going back to school or something to do in your Pentacle world, or maybe you're starting a yoga class. Maybe this person here is doing ballet. Maybe you're going back to doing ballet. But it feels like here that something is showing up in the moment of alchemy. And what that means is you don't really feel it right now. And so maybe the opportunity comes up, boom, like that. The moment of alchemy just is not there 1 minute and it's there the next. So it could show up and you didn't even see it coming. But maybe you felt it, because the 6 of Cups is here. Look, it feels like whatever I'm talking about is something you already have knowledge of, because the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia. So it feels like something you've either always wanted to do since you were a kid, or something you already, maybe you are somebody who is a self-taught musician and now you're going to classes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like you want to be the subject matter expert of whatever it is that you learnt already. It feels like you already know this thing, but you want to be a specialist at it. Tell me about the 8 of Pentacles. Oh, we got the Judgment card. I really love that, because look, it's now. It feels like this opportunity has come up before and is coming back around again. And whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. So that's how you know when Judgment is here. Because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. It'll keep coming back and knocking. Are you ready yet? That's okay, because if you're not ready, we'll come back. And that's sort of what the Judgment card is. It feels like something, someone, a situation that you worked on back there, it feels like you are ready to reconnect to that situation. The 5 of Pentacles is here in the reverse. So the Judgment card also tells me that this is going to change your path. It's going to change. You're going to be doing a 180 and go the other way. Like, it's going to change how you act on the path. Judgment card is calling you to do something, and it's calling you to reconnect possibly to the past, because the 6 of Cups is here. But it feels like it is... it's asking you to reconnect to yourself or reconnect to the past. Look, we've got Mercury retrograde in your sign, so it feels like it could be someone you have unfinished business with or something like that. Tell me more. we've got the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, this could be romantic. But for me, in this particular deck, again, I never remember what the names of the decks are, but go look at my Amazon link if you want to see it. It will show you which deck it is. The King of Cups here. So the King of Cups, of course, it's all about emotions, right? It can be something romantic, but in this particular one, it looks like you're doing something for yourself. Did I tell you that in your last reading? Maybe it was your monthly, but it feels like... Pardon me, I have to do this for me. That's what it feels like when I'm looking at this here. I have to do it for me for a change. Or it feels like I've got to express my emotions and reconnect to someone because I know I'm ready now. I'm ready to say yes to judgment. Come on in. I'm ready to look at it again now. We've got the Hierophant energy. We could be looking at an emotional commitment because that Hierophant has come up right under the Knight of Cups and above the Six of Cups. So it feels like with the Six of Cups here, with the Knight of Cups at Seven Cups, it could be a very overwhelming emotional situation that is coming back. It's arising again because the only reason that things show up in retrograde is so we can just look at them again and say, do I want to close this door or do I want to continue on? It's asking you to sort of make a decision about what you want to do about some sort of commitment. And it feels like it's emotional commitment because the way they're laying on the table is the Hierophant is here and above it is the King of Cups, below it is the Six of Cups, and to the right of it, the Three of Cups. Right? So it feels like there is a commitment here that you want to revisit. It's like, I wonder if that person is interested in revisiting the commitment. Or do I want to go back and try again somewhere? Something where I felt like I needed more knowledge to make the decision because the Eight of Pentacles is here, the Virgo energy. And Virgo is very good at the details. It takes a long time. Like the Hierophant takes a long time, Taurus energy, and Virgo takes a long time to make a decision. I was talking to a friend of mine who's Virgo. She sent me, I posed the question to her. I planned the thing. Where do you want to go for dinner? And then she sent me this little GIF. I guess it was a cat trying to decide where they want to jump. She's a Virgo. So I'm going to say that you don't really know where to jump, Cancer. That it feels like you don't know whether to jump or not. I feel like this thought of this commitment, Hierophant energy here, is the Three of Cups. It makes you excited for a reunion. I want to do this again. I want to try this again. But look, yeah. So on the one side is the Hierophant. On the other side is the World card. So do I really want this commitment? Because I feel like if you make the commitment, you're all in and you're going to be all in forever. Like till death do us part ever. Even if it's not a relationship. Like it feels like that. And it feels like the thought of having a reunion with somebody really makes you happy. But am I really going to have the reunion, or should I just close the door on this thing and not think about it ever again? It feels like you're wanting to revisit something, doing it for you, not doing it for them. Maybe you want to sit in front of someone, reconnect to them and see, do I still have the same feelings as I did before? And then we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, it looks like you're about to make some sort of decision, friend. It looks like a decision is about to be made, but you are stuck right now. It feels like you're stuck on whether I want to have the reunion, Three of Cups, or I want to close the door, the World card. Do I just want to call it a win? Do I just want to call it a milestone and just keep moving into the future? Tell me what the outcome is for Cancer, please. Emperor. It's on you. So I'm going to say that whatever happens here, it's on you. Because the Emperor is the one who is really sure before they make the decision, not the yes or no or maybe kind of, The Emperor is like, I'll be sure to do it if I know I'm going to win. So the Emperor, I feel like, and I feel like I'm talking about either a masculine energy or a woman who's in their masculine energy, a man who's in their masculine energy. It feels like you're the pursuer of this thing. So if you don't make a move forward, the other person will not make a move forward. In fact, I don't even think they know that you're wanting or even just thinking about possibly making a move forward here, pursuing something that I think you're pretty sure will work out in your favor. We've got the Queen of Cups next to the Emperor, and we've got the Two of Swords. So I think what you're trying to figure out first, Cancer, is whether or not it feels like you have to decide how deeply you feel about the situation. And whether you still have really deep feelings, Queen of Cups, or not, Two of Swords. Is this something I can live without? Is this a nice to have or is this a need to have? Will I really feel and regret if I don't make this decision. So whatever this is, if it's school, if it's a career change, it feels like for some of you, it could be very deeply emotional. So it could be a romantic connection, or whatever it is the situation is, it feels like it's a deep commitment. So once you make the decision and you say yes, it's not an iffy thing by then. It's just, I'm in. That's it. All right, what's around the corner? We got the High Priestess, we've got the Ten of Swords, and we've got the Page of Swords. So I think this is sort of the whole deal. It feels like you don't want to get hurt, for sure. And there also was probably a painful ending with this person. But it feels like there's been some watching going on. The Page of Swords is here. You're trying to gather more information. Maybe you're watching them. I don't know if they're online, or you're watching them on social media or in the neighborhood. Not in a creepy way. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you're a watcher. It feels like somebody here is watching watching silently, by the way, because I think you're trying to decide whether that person would hurt you, whether this is really over, or whether you can overlook some sort of betrayal or mental opposition that was given to you that really hurt you. One more card. Moon. That's your energy, friend. Yeah. I feel like you might be better off not making this decision in retrograde, but I'm just saying this particular retrograde is going on until the end of July. I think the retrograde ends on the 23rd of July, but then we still got the post-shadow energy, right? Still goes on for a couple more weeks after that. So I feel like the moon is telling me that at the end of this read for you here, that you still haven't decided whether you're going to do it or not. I feel like this moon energy is feeling like I'm not really sure what the outcome is. I'm not sure if I want to make the commitment or close the door. I'm just going to put one card down here, just because you're the birthday baby. Tell me about the World card. Got the Queen of Wands. Okay, more than one. We've got the Empress. Okay, so we got the Queen of Wands, the Empress, and the Magician. So it's up to you. You've got to create your reality. What is it that you want? It feels like, I'm going to say, if you don't make a move, if you're the masculine energy, if you're the Emperor energy, if you don't make a move toward the Empress, you'll never see that person again. They won't show up to beg you for your attention. This person is somebody who's waiting for whomever is theirs to show up. So if you feel like you are theirs, then possibly you might want to give them an offer. Page of Pentacles is here. All right. We've got Aries energy, Cancer and Pisces, Libra and Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. We've got more Aries, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Feels like a very slow-moving energy before you make your decision about whether to close the door or not. Got more Cancer energy here, and the Hierophant is Taurus. Got Piscean energy here. We've got Sagittarian energy. We've got Virgo and Pisces and Libra and Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Aries on the bottom of the deck. All right. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo. How are you, my fire family? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for showing up here. Tell me about Leo, please. Tell me what's coming up in the next 7 days for Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. Leo, we start out with the Ten of Wands. It feels like you feel under pressure. Something is weighing heavy on you here. We have the Two of Swords. It's a decision. So it feels like you're trying to make a clear decision about something that you can't see the outcome on, but it feels like you're stuck in a place of crossroads. I feel like you have been since the full moon. There's a full moon on the bottom of this card here. It feels like since the full moon, you've been trying to find a balanced way to relieve yourself of some sort of a burden or something that feels like a lot of pressure on you. Tell me more about Leo. We've got the Chariot. Okay. Do you go or are you not going to go? I think that's the decision you're making. Because you know that once you get in the Chariot, you got to go. That's it. It goes, and it goes. Yeah, it feels like everything, once you make the decision, everything speeds up incredibly fast at this point. But it also feels as though, I think that you want it, but I feel like you're hiding how you feel about it. So you might be hiding feelings from someone or trying to figure out whether you have feelings for someone, but it almost feels like you're under pressure to make that decision because the Two of Swords is here. It's like time's a ticking, friend. It feels like this. Are we going or not? It feels like you're making this decision. And we have the Seven of Wands. You know what the scariest part for you, Leo, is? You're going to have to be honest and truthful, and you're going to have to share whatever is behind the door. It feels like you are someone with a lot of boundaries, and it feels like you're not really interested. I want to say not interested, but that you don't usually share the things that go on behind closed doors. That's what it feels like. You don't usually share things intimately about your children or your family or something like that. And it also feels like you know that once the door's open, the door's open. You got to share it all. You can't go halfway in because, well, you don't do halfway anything, right? So tell me about the Ten of Wands here. We've got the Six of Wands. Okay, so it feels like once you get in the Chariot, whatever you're about to do brings you a lot of attention or puts a spotlight on you. It feels like everyone's going to know about it. It feels like it becomes very public, or your decision becomes very apparent or public to other people. Temperance is at the top of the reading. And the Nine of Pentacles. So it could be a decision about what to do with your savings. Possibly, maybe you want to liquidate your business, or you want to build a business or start a business. It feels like whatever it is that you've built something by yourself, and maybe that's why you're protecting what's yours, right? The person at the doorway with the Ace of Wands. It feels like you're protecting what's yours, and I feel like it feels like an emperor energy, that I don't just give the empire over to anybody. I got to be really careful with the information that I share, what people know about me. You might be a public figure because the Six of Wands is here. You could be a public figure, or you could be very popular in whatever it is that you do. But it feels like Temperance being here next to the Six of Wands tells me that if you aren't popular and you don't have a lot of attention at this time, it's going to shove you into the spotlight. Everybody's going to know. And so I feel like there may be some things that you're protecting that you don't want to put out there. You don't want people to know. And it feels like if you could just step into the spotlight by yourself, Nine of Pentacles, and not worry about everyone who had the spotlight on you, I feel like there's some things that you're just not interested in telling people. I don't think they're secrets. I think that you're trying to make a decision about, I know that if I become public, everything is public. So we've got the Page of Swords. We've got the King of Swords and the Page of Wands. Before I make any decision about this, I got to do a little bit of digging. I think you need to do a little bit of digging, Leo, to really look at the terms of the contract. The Page of Swords, to me, when it shows up with the King of Swords, is the fine print. It's the small stuff. Make sure that you're looking over all the details. If this is a written contract or in retrograde energy, whether you think it's pucky or not. Sometimes we can miss details. Sometimes, with Mercury in retrograde, that means the thought process are slower. It could be something that has to do with technology that glitches and you don't see the whole contract on your phone or on the email. It feels like if you look a second time or a third time before you make this decision, whatever it is, it feels like you will find something, because the Page of Wands is here. And I feel like you've really got to scrutinize whatever surprises you. So it feels like it's a good surprise, because the page is very curious and exciting, and it's good news and it's adventurous. But it feels like the King of Swords is kind of putting on the lawyer hat and saying, I don't know. We got to check out these things before we actually say yes and sign on the dotted line. Page of Swords, I need to know what all of the terms of the contract are. We've got the Magician. And so it feels like something that is going to change your future. It feels like you are putting your signature on the dotted line, or saying yes to something that I feel that you've been manifesting for a really long time, but you want to make sure that every single thing you've asked for is in the terms of the contract. Maybe you're buying a house. It feels like this Magician energy is saying, I am the one who has all the tools to be able to move forward and create my own reality. But before I do that, I have to make sure that I have all of the right details. So I feel like this is something you have manifested. You've manifested the good news and the contract. It's all exciting. It's ready to be put in writing. And I think it's something that everyone is going to know about. So maybe you buy the house and everybody knows about it. Or maybe you sign a multi-million-dollar contract and everybody knows about it because, well, it's a lot of money. But it feels like it shoves you out into the spotlight. And yeah, it can be a little bit frightening. Yeah, frightening, right? The Fool is here. So it's like it's exhilarating, exciting. I mean, the Page is here with the Magician. It's like something you've manifested has finally showed up, and I'm really excited about it. But the Fool is here. I have to take a leap of faith into something, and it feels like this Fool being here tells me that this is exhilarating, but it's terrifying. It's a place I've never been before. It's a path I've never taken before. We've got the Devil. That's why, because the Devil is here. The Devil is like, you're thinking about it over and over. It's repetition. It's obsession. It's also fear and the fear of doing something wrong. Or if I say yes and I don't have all the details, I'm going to be attached to this forever. Like it feels like I'm going to have an attachment here. So I need to make sure that I'm okay with the attachment. It does feel like a little bit of fear or some doubt. Yeah, get somebody to look at it. The King of Swords to me is the person who is the judge, the magistrate, or the lawyer, notary. Get somebody to look it over for you before you say yes to the situation. Might be you want to get into a relationship, but you need a prenup. We've got the Four of Wands. So I'm going to say that while you're still feeling in this Devil energy, or you're still feeling doubt about whether or not you want this, that's your answer. Your answer is right there, friend. If you are doubting it, you do not have temperance. You have not made the decision. It's not a confident decision. So it feels like you want to you want to be confident in your decision, or you're going to continue to hold back. And that, I think, is legit. I think you should do that. Tell me what's around the corner for Leo. We've got the Five of Wands, we've got the Four of Wands, and we've got the Strength card. It might be about buying a house. The Five of Wands is here with the Four of Wands, so that's Nine of Wands. I don't want to get hurt in this contract. Or Five of Wands could tell me that maybe there's a lot of bids on this house. You know how those crazy bidding wars go, right? If you're in a place where there's a bidding war, it feels like that. It feels like I want to offer a chunk of money, Nine of Pentacles, and I want to be confident about that chunk of money because I don't want to overpay. But it feels like that there also could be this competition, that you know that other people could outbid you. And it's something that you've always wanted. One more card. The Strength card is here. Have courage, friend, but hold back if your intuition tells you to. We have the Ace of Cups. I feel like you end up doing or getting whatever makes your heart happy. You're at the beginning of a very exciting, emotionally fulfilling cycle. So I feel like whatever this is, whatever decision you make, I feel like it works out the way it's supposed to. I feel like it makes you really happy, overly emotional, like happy tears. Like that's what it feels like here. And bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So I feel like there is going to be somebody here who's going to give you clarity. If you know somebody who is like a lawyer or judge, or somebody who can speak on your behalf if you're not really sure what's going on or you want more details. The Queen of Pentacles is here. Yeah, because I think it's a good big chunk of change, or it's a very long-term contract. It feels like something that you're not going to be able to wiggle out of. You're going to have to be there for a while. So I feel like you do want to get somebody here who is a specialist to give you more information. It might be financial information too. Could be not necessarily a judge, a magistrate, or a lawyer, but maybe it's an accountant. Maybe it's a CGA or something, right? Maybe what is that? An actuary, like somebody who really can look at it from the top down for you. We've got Cancer energy here. We've got Libra and Sagittarius. We've got Leo energy here, and Aries and Gemini. We've got Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We've got Virgo energy. We've got Capricorn a couple times. We've got Aries. We've got Sagittarian energy. And we've got more Aries energy. Be practical, friend. I just want to say, be practical with your decision, and I think you'll be just fine. All right, Virgo. Let's find out what's going on for you, friend. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Virgo, you're showing up in everybody's reading. Telling them all, be careful and go over the details. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo in the next 7 days. Tell me about Virgo. All right. We've got the Queen of Cups. Why is that? Oh, Page. You're about to be surprised by something that is going to make you, feel something really deeply emotional about the situation. Tell me more about this. Oh, okay. In my mind's eye, Charlie's my guide. He just showed me a child putting their arms around their mother. So it could be like a child is coming home for a special occasion. Something good. The page is always good news that surprises you. So it feels like it is surprising good news that makes you feel very happily and deeply emotional about it. Somebody's making a decision that is something that involves you. The Two of Pentacles just showed up here, but it's a 3D decision. Somebody is trying to make the decision that is going to keep them the most balanced, because there is water in the background here, and we can see that the boats are all topsy-turvy. So I feel like somebody here, if it is a child, maybe your grown child is moving back home possibly in order to get more balance. Maybe they're somebody who's lost a relationship or something, or they've gone through a tumultuous part in their life, and it feels like somebody here might be making a decision to come home. Yeah, it could be we got the Six of Cups. So it could be family, friends. Maybe you're allowing someone to come live with you here. I feel like if we are not talking about that, it could be that there is some sort of a new, yeah, it's not new though, is it? I'm going to say, because the Six of Cups is here, I was going to say a new connection, but it doesn't feel like it's new. It feels like it's new to you. Like buying a used car. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. It is somebody that I feel like you know, because the Two of Pentacles is here. And it does feel like it is somebody who maybe you have deep feelings for, possibly. But the Page of Cups is good news that surprises you. The Six of Cups, it could be someone from your past. Look, we are in Cancer retrograde, right? We're in Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And so it is bringing things up that make you very emotional, and bringing those emotions to the top so we can look at them and figure out whether we're still feeling emotional about that or not. So the Two of Pentacles could be that you need to make a decision about someone that just pops in, or you might do the bump in, right? You might bump into them somewhere. Okay, well, that just flipped over, and it's the Death card. So it feels like it is somebody that you had an emotional cut with, because that's coming up above the Queen of Cups. So maybe you are no longer connected to them. Maybe you haven't seen them in a very long time. Tell me more. The Death card tells me that you have changed a lot. If I am talking about a long-term connection from the past, it feels like you've changed a lot. I'm going to say, because the Queen of Cups is under the Death card, it's like there's water under the bridge. A lot of water under the bridge here. We've got the Ace of Swords. Yeah, and so it feels to me like this particular Mercury retrograde is about bringing things back, or bringing them from the bottom to the top, and a little bit of Pluto sort of activity in there, bringing things from the bottom to the top so you can look at them and see them for maybe what they really are, as opposed to what you maybe thought you were seeing back there. Because the Ace of Swords is with the Death. You're very clear about some sort of epiphany or something someone said to you that ended everything. It feels like you need to be clear about how you feel about the situation, because it's been a while. It could be a couple of years for some of you. We've got 3 Pentacles on the table. This is someone that I think maybe you may have dated, but maybe you fell into this partnership kind of energy. There is a lot of cups here. We've got 6, 7, 8 cups. And so maybe somebody just detached and walked away, ghosted, something like that. It was their decision to do so. Look, the Knight of Pentacles is here. I don't think that you expected this on this part of the journey, because the Ace of Swords is right behind the Knight of Pentacles. And to me, with the Page of Cups here on the table, it almost feels like it comes up out of nowhere, like comes up behind you, and you don't see it arriving, because according to you, it's dead and gone. The Death card is here. And so I think that it shows up, and you are like, what? Why is it showing up now? On this part of the journey, on this leg of the journey. Tell me more. I would say because the journey's not over. That's what it feels like. We've got the 5 of Wands. We've got the Star. And we've got the 6 of Pentacles. So I feel like you're going to have a very good reciprocal energy. It feels like a good conversation, or we're going to have a really good reunion or conversation that we're going to have here it's going to heal everything. I'm going to say that maybe the parting of ways didn't go very well, but it feels like it's going to heal something. Now, I often have people in the comments that will say, well, what's the point of them coming back around if we're not getting back together? Well, you understand that some people require closure, right? Like, not everybody is just looking to jump into a relationship and run off into the sunset hoping it doesn't crash and burn. Some people actually do think about it and want to see it again. I want to talk to you again. Can we have a conversation about that? It feels like somebody's trying to decide whether they want this or not again. Do I still feel the way that I did back there? Because I think that the way that you felt back there was you were fighting your feelings. 5 of Wands is coming up next to the Queen of Cups. I was fighting my feelings. The Queen of Cups is looking at a cup on her lap and it's closed. Maybe I wasn't really ready. I was fighting feeling my feelings. It could be that. I wasn't really ready for it. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. So I feel like the intention of somebody coming back here is to see if you're ready to work on the seeds that we've planted. So I think the other person's intention is to see if you are interested in continuing the journey, having a conversation about it, Ace of Swords, even though we consider it to be over. The 7 of Pentacles is here. It feels like it's been a long time. It's next to the 6 of Pentacles. It feels like it's a long time since we actually sat down and spoke of things. In a way, Star, that was hopeful, that was healing. I think the last time you probably spoke, there was the 5 of Wands involved. There may have been a battle. And one of you may have been going through a personal battle that shadowed everything. It feels like somebody wasn't ready to show their feelings. And somebody here was trying to press them for it. And because it didn't work out, I'm out of here. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the 10 of Wands. We've got the World card. Yes, so somebody here has been burdened by the ending. Yeah. We've got the World card. We've got the Ace of Cups. And then we have the 10 of Wands. So the World card being right next to the 10 of Wands tells me that somebody has been carrying a burden for a very long time. Knight of Pentacles. Carrying the burden about the way everything ended. I felt super vulnerable. I said that at 111. I felt super vulnerable emotionally about the way things ended. It feels like I'm wondering, like the other person who might be coming back around is wondering if you still have feelings for them. I think that you do, but I think that you're very cautious, like cautiously optimistic about like maybe being a little hopeful during the conversation, but I don't think you're forgetting what went on back there. You don't forget anything, right? It feels like you're not forgetting what went on back there, and so you're not exactly sure. Yeah, the 9 of Wands tells me you're not forgetting, that you're still feeling that whatever it was that came up that ended up ending things, the friendship, the job, or the love ship. We've got the Queen of Pentacles next to the 9 of Pentacles. It was supposed to be long-term, and then I became single. And the 9 of Wands is here. It hurt me terribly, and I'm still carrying some of that with me. So I feel like you have changed or grown. The 9 of Pentacles is here first, and then the Queen of Pentacles is here. It feels like you look different. You feel different. You're very much more collaborative, I would say, because the 6 of Pentacles is here. You're ready to talk. You're in a very different mindset now. You don't need it, and therefore you can analyze it. Do you know what I mean? Like you can really make a good decision about what you want in your life and what you don't, because the Queen of Pentacles is focused on themselves. And so you're like, well, maybe I just don't want to have to focus on someone else. Maybe I just want to continue focusing on me. We've got the Page of Pentacles. You're going to get an offer, friend. It's going to be an aggressive one. It feels like with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles and the Temperance card here, it's like an offer you can't refuse. That's what it feels like. Or somebody is going to make an offer to you that's really hard to say no. Somebody here is probably a friend who really has passion for you or is very attracted to you. We've got partnership. Maybe you worked with this person, possibly, but we also have the 8 of Pentacles. So I'm saying maybe you worked with them. Maybe you two were just friends. But it feels like there was an attraction here, I'm going to say. But nothing really ever came of it. It stayed in a practical sense. All right. Maybe one of you was married. The bottom of the deck has the Hierophant. One of you could have been married, and so the other one just walked away and said, well, I'm not going to get myself involved in this. We've got Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and Capricorn. We've got Virgo, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Aquarius, more Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. You haven't seen this person in a long time. A long time. Death card is here, Scorpio. Maybe you haven't seen them since last November, or maybe even longer, years possibly. There's all kinds of pentacles here. Pentacles are years for me. How many do we have here? We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15, 27, like a long time. Like it feels like many, many, many years, not just one, you know, where it feels like longer than it was. Okay. Libra. How you doing, babies? How you doing, sweethearts? All right, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra. For the next 7 days for Libra. Tell me about Libra. We have the Four of Wands, Libra. Oh, the Fool, the Empress, and the King of Cups. Are you ready to go to the next level of something here? I'm going to say whatever it is, you're ready for it, because the Empress is here. So I feel like whether you are the feminine or the masculine Empress, it feels like you are ready, abundant. You've got, like, everything is in its place in order to be able to jump into the deep end. And I'm saying the deep end because the King of Cups is here. But the Four of Wands is sort of an indication of somebody who maybe might be moving in, going to the next level of a relationship, possibly the next level of your abundance. It feels nerve-wracking, I'll say, because it's really exciting because the Fool card is here. I think that you've really grown into this person who takes educated leaps of faith, because this particular Fool, you can see, is holding that card there and is taking the mask off. And when we see that the mask is taken off, it's because we're seeing wisdom. It's like, I'm used to taking leaps of faith. And this card is the Fool of old. So when they first started making tarot, and it's a court jester, right? So that's the one that you would never trust with information. That one doesn't have a lot of life experience. I'm going to say that it feels like you've grown up and you do have a lot of life experience because you're in this Empress energy. It feels like you have a lot of wisdom. You might be someone of a certain age, right? Someone who's not really very young, because it feels like with the King of Cups here, you've learned to hold your emotions back. You've learned to be stoic, not to show all your cards. You're holding your cards close to the chest. But it feels like there is something that is quite exciting that is about to show up. It could be an opportunity of abundance or an opportunity for love, because the King of Cups is here. To dive into the deep end of something. With the Four of Wands here, it feels like soulmate energy, next level energy. It feels like buying a house, something like that. But it feels exhilaratingly terrifying. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Devil energy. Yeah, moving too quickly is what sort of terrifies you a little bit. You're really not in favor of moving quickly. It might be something that's really emotional. Your readings have been very emotional lately. I usually read like intellectual or creative, and that's not what it's been lately. Are you in like up to here in emotions about something that you haven't quite done yet or haven't quite figured out yet? So I feel like with the Devil here and the Chariot here that you're holding back, wondering, do I move forward or do I not? It feels like there is, with the Knight of Wands here, like your motor's running. It feels like you really do want to move forward. You want to be brave with the Fool here, right? The Knight of Wands has showed up. So it feels like you really do want to be brave about something that goes over. And you've been thinking about taking some sort of a risk over and over. This is my son. He just came home. The Knight of Wands is telling me that I feel like you want to be brave and take a risk here. But it feels like with the Chariot energy, you know that once you jump in, once you take the leap, it's like a runaway train. And I think that's what scares you. The Devil is... I think the Devil is here to remind you to stay organized with your thought pattern. And if you're going to take a leap of faith, just realize that this could end up in an attachment that maybe you never wanted. But the Chariot is very positive and moving forward. And you know what it is? It feels like the Chariot and the Devil here is telling me that you're trying to keep your feelings at bay about something or someone. Ooh, what's this? Look at that. Flipped all the way over here. It's Temperance. Temperance is coming up against the Four of Wands. It feels like, I'm going to say that Temperance is the moment where you make the decision. So if you are still not in this place where you've made the decision, then, or you're about to make the decision, then I would say wait until it feels good to make the decision. Because the moment of alchemy is not chaotic. It's not high highs and low lows. It's the moment where everything just sort of comes together and says, okay, now is the time. And you feel very confident in that energy, very grounded. We've got the Two of Wands and we've got the Page of Pentacles. So there is a decision-making process that's coming here. And it feels like you've been stuck at this place for a while. And I think what's stuck, it feels like what's stuck is, do I make the opportunity known? Do I actually tell them yes? Do I make a practical offer? What do I do? Because the Two of Wands is here. I think you have a plan. And I think your plan will come to fruition when the Temperance card shows up. When you're confident that it's going to work, it will work. But I would say don't push yourself into it. If your intuition is saying no, then it's a no. Because you wouldn't be feeling that if Temperance was here, if it was the time, if it was the right time, the moment of alchemy. So the Page of Pentacles here tells me it's going to be a practical offer. It feels like it's going to be something that will grow quickly. She's holding a bunny. I'm just saying it will grow very quickly. So if we are talking about emotions you've been hiding, Chariot energy, or maybe in this Cancer retrograde energy, something is coming from the bottom to the top. Because I usually say the Chariot is hiding feelings or something that's below that I'm keeping concealed because it's a discipline, right? I've learned to keep my feelings at bay about something here. We've got the Star. I feel like if you do give the offer, look, I'm going to say you don't have to jump all the way in or be all the way out. The hokey pokey, right? It doesn't have to be all the way in or all the way out. That sounds more Taurian. Maybe you have a Taurus connection. Maybe you've got a Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Venus in Taurus. But it feels like here that somebody feels like once I open the door, I can't close the door. So it feels like once you make the decision is permanent because the Page of Pentacles is here. I started something that I can't stop, Chariot, and it feels like I'm hoping it's going to work out. But it makes me feel super vulnerable, the Star. It makes me feel vulnerable in my feelings. It makes me vulnerable giving this offer, because what if they say no? What if they reject me? It feels like this is an exciting opportunity with the Empress. Maybe you're the Empress. It could be for the Empress or with an Empress. But it feels like it is something that you feel very deeply about. Yeah. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Six of Swords and the High Priestess. All right. So it feels like you've been keeping silent until things calm down. Like until your emotions calm down, until your thought pattern calms down, because the Six of Swords is going from the chaos to the calm. So I feel like you want, when you're ready to say something or give the offer, I feel like you'll know because your mind won't be like running at 1,000 miles per hour like the Chariot wants to. But the Eight of Cups tells me I really have to intellectualize this. I can't do it out of emotion. So the Eight of Cups tells me I've got to detach from my emotions and move forward to a calmer place before I say anything. I feel like the High Priestess tells me you're going to stay quiet until the right moment when you're confident enough, where things stop rocking about. Like it feels like Temperance kind of comes in and levels everything, and then you're ready. Tell me what's around the corner for Libra. We've got the Death card. We've got the Two of Pentacles. All right. The Death card and the Two of Pentacles is giving me this feeling of executing the plan. So it feels like I've transformed. I see it. I know I want to end the silence because the Death card is also coming up holding the hand of the High Priestess. So it feels like the Six of Cups is here. This is something that's coming up so you can revisit it. It feels like it's coming up so you can look at it again. So Mercury is in retrograde in Cancer, which is bringing things up so you can visit it again, revisit the past or this thing that's nostalgic for you, and decide whether you want it at this time or whether you want to close the door. So you're either going to make a decision to say yes or a decision to say no. But I think it happens in Cancer season that you make that decision. We've got the the Seven of Wands is in the reverse. I feel like you've decided what you've got to do is be a little more mentally flexible. Because although you're not a fixed sign, Aquarius is the fixed sign of the air signs. Gosh, you can move so slow when it comes to making a decision because you are so articulate, so intellectual, and you have to have all of the details in place before you're ready to make a decision or not. Yeah, I think you're fighting it because you don't think you have all the details. The Seven of Swords is here. The Five of Wands is the one that I'm thinking that you're fighting it because you don't think that you have enough details, or that maybe you've missed something. It feels like with the Ten of Cups in the reverse that you're thinking, because the Eight of Swords is here, that you're thinking over and over again, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? And I would say whatever your decision is the right one. If you say it's never going to work, then it won't. You're right. And if you say this will work, then you're right. So you need to have temperance in order to know within yourself if you are confident enough to say, okay, it's go time. Yeah, it's all about consequences, right? So we do have Leo and Scorpio. We have Aries and Sagittarius, Capricorn and Cancer, more Capricorn. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, the High Priest, sorry, not the High Priestess, but the Empress is Libra and Taurus. Then we have more Scorpio and Pisces. Look, you're highly intuitive. You're going to come up with the right answer, whatever is suitable for you. We've got Aquarius here, Aries, and more Pisces, more Aries. You want to go get it, but you want to be sure before you go get it. All right. These readings are long ones. You guys have my attention. Scorpio, let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio, please. Tell me what's coming up for Scorpio in the next 7 days for my Scorpios. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got Two of Swords. Look, Two of Swords is following us around in these readings today. Two of Swords. I'm going to say with this particular Two of Swords, you see that there's a full moon above her head. Two of Swords is here. I'm going to say that there's something that you've been trying to release, some sort of an emotional or intuitive block that you've had for a while. And I think that you might have released it over the full moon, this last full moon. You could be a Capricorn. You could be a Libra. It feels like, because this reading isn't just for Scorpio, right? It could be, you could be a Scorpio or have those energies, or you could be a Libra with a Scorpio placement, right? So it could be that, but it feels like there is, you're at some sort of a crossroads that I feel you may have let go of during the full moon in Capricorn. We do have the Justice card. We have the Three of Swords. And we have the Page of Wands. Look, ooh, Taurus. I didn't say Taurus. I meant to say Tower. I did say Taurus, but I meant to say Tower. The Tower's on the bottom of the deck. Look, I think what's going on here is I've got Libra, the Justice card, the Three of Swords, and the Page of Wands. So I feel like there is something here that doesn't sit right with you. So it's something that ended up as disappointment or as heartbreak, and you want to correct it. You want to do the right thing, or you want to restore it. You want to restore faith with somebody. It feels like there is, with the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords tells me that you have a fundamental difference with somebody, but you don't want that to stop you two from having fun together. The Page of Wands is here. So I'm going to say that it feels like you want to restore something or make something right after some sort of disappointment or heartbreak or something that didn't work out, Three of Swords. But it feels like you've been frozen in this place of being at the crossroads. And it feels like you had to let something go, like let a block of some sort go. It could be an intuitive block. It could be a block emotional. It could be a mental block. But it feels like that you... feels like you really do want to have something break down or switch up. Seven of Pentacles, so we can rebuild it. Yeah. Sometimes things fall apart so you can build them a different way. So like the Seven of Pentacles is here. It feels like there was a tower a while back. And it feels like it might have been while we were in the midst of building something. And it feels like it happened so quickly that I couldn't, that you couldn't, I'm saying I because I'm kind of like feeling like you in this. But it feels like I couldn't digest it quick enough in order to give an answer. That's what it feels like. It happened too quick. Tell me about the Two of Swords. We've got the World card. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And the Seven of Cups. So whatever it is, I feel that you don't really know the answer to. Now, I feel like some sort of block was removed over the full moon. You let something go. The World card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. It feels like something, this has been a really emotional journey for you. And it feels like you just want to keep moving slow. It feels like you've had a major closing in your life, like you closed a major door, which to me, when I say major closes, you've changed countries, like you've moved countries, you sold a house that maybe you were born in and grew up in. It might be a marriage. It feels like a major shift in your life has happened, and I feel like you're on a new journey. And so this new journey with the Knight of Pentacles tells me I don't really even know what the outcome is, and I don't really care. But I'm just trying to focus on the journey, and the journey is so emotional. It feels like it's emotional. I don't know what's coming up. It could be illusion. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm not really sure if I'm ready to pick a cup right now. I think I just want to keep moving. It feels like you're very intellectual, and that you are trying to make a decision about what to do next. The Six of Swords is here. Look, once you decide, it's already in motion. I told my son this the other night. And he said, yeah, I really want to change that about me. And I said, well, just the fact of saying it, you've already changed. Like you've already changed. It's already in motion. Now you just have to learn the journey. So I feel like that's what's going on with you here. You're like, I really wish I could have changed that. I think that you have changed. It's already in motion here, my friend, because you made a different decision. You made a different decision here. It feels like there is something that happened. It really feels like it's probably with a person, and I don't know what this relationship of this person is to you, because I don't see any meaningful cups. I don't see any Two of Cups. I don't see Six of Cups. I don't see any of that. I see a World card, and the only cups that I see are Seven Cups. So it feels like that something happened between you and another person, and you feel badly about it. I'm not saying it was your fault, but I feel like you feel badly about it, and you cannot stop thinking about it. Eight Swords is here. The Six of Swords just came up beside the Two. So I feel like you can't stop thinking about a decision that you made. Two of Pentacles. You made that decision in order to protect your balance, because, well, that, right? You made that decision in order to protect your balance, and what your decision was to hold back. But I don't think that this is a permanent decision. I think this was meant to hold back for now, because I feel like there was too much emotion attached to it, and you weren't ready to do anything but intellectualize it. Swords, 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 and Pentacles. It feels like you weren't ready to feel how it felt. It was confusing and emotional right after you had some sort of major shift or major ending in your life, and I just think it came up at the wrong time. The Ace of Wands is here. I feel like you've got a plan about how you're going to approach somebody to make something right. I think you're worried you hurt somebody by maybe what you said or what you did, because I think that with the Two of Swords, Three of Swords here, we had a fundamental difference. And I think you may have delivered something a little bit, I don't think it was spicy, no, but I think it was sharp, because we got all of these swords here. Tell me what the outcome is. The Ace of Wands is here. I really do feel that you are excited about the whole thing, but I think it was bad timing is what it feels like. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the Eight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So there we go. I think that you will make an offer, but I think for now you have to stay detached, Eight of Cups, from your emotions. It feels like you just don't want to settle for the first thing that comes along. It really does feel like somebody who's just gotten out of a relationship, who just sold their whole life in in another country and move to another country, and I'm just not ready to settle down with anybody. It feels like I don't want to get myself in the position where I have to just settle for that thing. So I'm not going to make any decisions right now. I'm going to stay practical. Queen of Pentacles is here. I'm going to move slow. I'm going to move very practical. I'm going to make very practical decisions. I'm going to take care of my time, energy, effort, health, and wealth. It feels like you're finally now in control of all of that since this World card showed up. And I don't think you're ready to give that over to somebody just yet, because relationships are about compromise. And if you're somebody who has been single for a bit or newly single, it feels like you're just not really ready to be nailed down to someone else's opinions. Five Swords. Five Swords. Maybe you just want to be who you are and not really care about what someone thinks about your feelings. We've got the Devil, we've got the Emperor, and we've got the Page of Swords. So you're on this this journey here about. It feels like you're finally feeling what it feels like to be the Emperor. It feels like you had a lot of stuff weighing on you, like the opinions of others, somebody who kept telling you what to do. It feels like there was always someone in your ear. It feels like you were running an empire. Maybe you had a business. Maybe you liquidated a business. It feels like with the Devil here that it's doubt and fear that plays in the mind of the Emperor. So you are probably the Emperor, somebody who is in your masculine energy, whether you're a woman or a man. Page of Swords is here. Yeah, I just want to sit back and observe some things for a while. I don't think you're ready to jump into anything. Like, the Emperor is not just going to give over the whole empire to someone they just met. I'm not going to do that again. Four of Wands is here. Just let me get settled. Just let me get settled. Let me have some fun. Let me do some celebrating. It feels like whatever the end of this thing was, it was celebratory for you. And it feels like you feel sort of bad for that. It feels like maybe somebody wanted to date you. Maybe it was the Knight of Wands being in the reverse. It feels like somebody that you have a little bit of a... Yeah, maybe you're feeling a little bit bad about not jumping in right away because the Knight of Pentacles is in the reverse, but the Five of Pentacles is here. I feel like you're pinning it all on you. I don't know. I feel like it's not all your fault, but it feels like you feel responsible for it. So I think you're going to approach somebody. You're going to bring something up from the bottom to the top. We're probably going to talk about it. If we find out that we have fundamental differences and it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it is going to work, it's going to go really, really slow because I think you want to be single for a while. All right, so we've got Aries a couple of times. We've got Libra and Capricorn, Aquarius and Aries, more Libra energy, Pisces, Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius and Leo. It might have been something long-term because that's slow-moving energy that you were in back there before you closed the door, World card. We've got Libra and more Libra. You're looking for balance, right? Yeah. You're looking for balance in something, like you want to stay in balance with yourself for a while before you start dragging anyone else into your stuff. All right, Sag, Fire family, how you doing, friends? I hope you're good. How are you? Tell me about Sagittarius for the next 7 days. If you are Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter sign, something here for you possibly over the next 7 days. Tell me about Sag. All right, what's this? We've got the Five of Swords. All right. These cards are like all the same color. It's hard to make out the gold words on the green background. We've got the Eight of Wands. Yeah. Okay, so it feels like there is, let me just put down more cards. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. And the King of Cups. Okay. I think that you're going to be speaking to someone who's probably been hiding feelings, but I think they're about to reveal it. But I really do think, say, the King of Cups is here. So it could be the King of Cups has been hiding something. It's been hiding feelings, stoic on the surface. You don't really know how they're feeling, but you feel it, Sag, because you're psychic that way. But the Eight of Wands is here. That's your energy. Your motor is running and you're ready to move forward. But it feels like somebody here doesn't feel like they have enough, doesn't feel like they are enough, doesn't feel like they feel about the situation enough. The Eight of Pentacles being in the reverse tells me, am I really ready to put all this work in? Do I really want to work that hard on this? Look, I'm saying all of that because the Five of Swords came up first. feels like the overall feel of everything here is Five of Swords. It's like you're battling your mind, battling yourself, or maybe battling your feelings about, how do I move forward here? What if I get there and I decide I don't want to put all this work into that? What if I don't like the job? What if it's just not for me? And maybe it almost feels like if this is a job, it feels like it is something that you wanted to do forever. Something you feel really deeply about. And you ran to get there. The Eight of Wands tells me it's now coming at you like a bat out of hell here, and it feels like now you're feeling some type of way about it. Five of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles is in the reverse. Okay, let's look at the Five of Swords. What is this? We've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Hermit. The Justice card. Sag. So Sag. It's like, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I know I said I wanted that, but slow down. What are you doing? Like, it feels like that. Why are you coming at me so fast? We haven't even had a chance to figure out if we have the same belief system or not. Five of Swords tells me, what if we have a bunch of fundamental differences and then we just jump into everything and then I decide I don't want to work on it? So the Eight of Swords is here. I feel like this Eight of Swords and Hermit energy is this energy of being stuck in your head, but in Hermit energy. It's like almost like a paralyzing energy of I can't make a decision because why? Mercury retrograde is here, right? And so feelings, right? Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy, and all of like the swords, Justice and the Eight of Swords, and the Five of Swords, it feels like I can't make a decision. I just keep thinking about all the details over and over and over again, and it feels like it's almost like you're trapped in Hermit energy. I think that your fun side, your adventurous side, the Eight of Wands, really wants to just like screw all the things that could be bad that could happen. I don't care. I just want to go. But then it's like you put the brakes on with the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and say, I don't know. It's going to take a lot of work. Is that really what I want to do? Tell me more. We've got the Justice card here. I'm going to say that when you come out of Hermit energy, you'll have your answer. Yeah. So you will have your answer. Just don't push it. If you're not ready, you don't feel balanced, you don't feel like you've figured it out, you don't feel balanced about your answer, then don't give an answer, I would say. Because I think that's what you're most worried about, is not ever finding an answer. I know it feels like you won't, but you will. We've got the Hierophant here that I just put down. We've got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Okay. The Five of Pentacles. Could I just have the trial, please? That's what it is. So the Hierophant's here, but the Knight of Cups is in the reverse. That gives me the energy of, could I just have like the 30-day trial first? And then just make my decision? Because the Five of Pentacles in here, because if I don't like it, I'm just going to go. That's what it feels like. So the Knight of Cups being in the reverse, it tells me that maybe you have a little bit of clarity about what you're really looking for. Are you really looking for commitment? And I feel like that's the problem. I feel like you do have feelings. There are feelings here. The Knight of Cups can always be romantic. We do have the King of Cups here, hiding feelings under the surface. This could be you. And I feel like you're in this place where you're kind of just standing on business, where you're not willing to budge on maybe your moral ground or your religious beliefs. Or it feels like with the Hierophant next to the Five of Swords, it's like somebody is going to have to battle someone else's doctrine. They're going to drag me off to church every Sunday, or they're going to want me to have children that are going to be baptized into their church and not mine. Or it feels like a real fundamental difference. All those things that we should talk about before we get into important commitments, right? Instead of going halfway through and deciding that we have a different parenting plan. So I feel like this is like you wanting the 30-day trial, as I said, because something's become clear to you. What if I make the commitment and then I don't necessarily like the differences and the Five of Pentacles is here, and then I'm pushed out on the outside looking in, and then I gotta go, Six of Swords. So I feel like I'm gonna say Six of Swords is telling me you're going from the chaos to the calm. Right now you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong. I think that going from the Five to the Six of Swords tells me that once you get to the calmer place in the mind, you'll make a better decision which could account for maybe it's not a great time to make a decision like this, an important life-changing decision about a commitment while we're in Mercury retrograde. I feel like your little motor is telling me that you want to go, but then it's like you put the brakes on because the King of Cups is here. That's like jumping into the deep end, right? And you would rather have a 30-day trial first. Tell me what the outcome is. Whoops. Fine, I'll go get them. Hang on. Irritates me when I drop cards. All right. Tell me what the outcome is. Tell me what the outcome is for Sagittarius. We've got the Three of Cups. We've got the Star. And we've got the Seven of Cups. All right. So I think the problem is that, look, we have a lot of fun together. When we're out socializing and having fun and having drinks, I think we have a lot of fun together. The Star is here. And I feel like that there is a hope that you'll be able to make your decision soon. The Seven of Cups being here is confusion or illusion. I'm not really sure what cup to... I've got so many options. I think that's what it is. Maybe you're not ready to settle down because you have so many opportunities and so many options that you just want to make the right decision. And it's okay to have options or opportunities come by and you sort of look them over and decide what you want. People get so offended by that in the comments. They get so offended by somebody who might pick someone else over them. But the fact of the matter is we're all within our own right to make the decision that fits our own life. And I think that's what you're doing. You're trying to make a decision that fits your life. Just because we have fun when we go out socially, every time we see each other, every time we have a reunion, I'm hopeful. But then with these other opportunities and options around me, it's like spoiled for choice. Like, why would I just buy the red car when there's cars of all colors that I can afford and all different kinds of, trinkets on them? Like, why would I just take the first one that I see? So it feels like that kind of... It's staying on the floor. That's the first thing that I see. So why would you pick the first thing that you see? All right, I think that this there's a death card here. Oh gosh, the lineup. We've got the King of Swords, the death card, and we've got the Two of Swords. So I feel like you're at a crossroads in your life that when you pick one, all the others are gone. I think that's because you're a person who is very loyal. I'm going to say that you're a person that if I pick one, then all the rest of them, I say goodbye to them in the DMs and I block them all. It feels like you're a person who's very loyal and that you really do stand on business with the Hierophant energy and you're super loyal. So it feels like there is a decision that needs to be made here. King of Swords tells me that you're trying to intellectualize the decision because it's too overwhelming to feel the feelings of all of it. I feel like there is something here that is going to change your mind because we got the death card between the King of Swords and the Two of Swords. Something here is going to change your mind about the situation. One more card. We've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like you don't want to be single anymore. So I think you're probably going to go with the person who is probably the one that you're most attracted to. Six of Wands, the person you're most attracted to, possibly the person who's quite popular, and somebody who I feel that this person they seem quite, I'm looking at the Six of Wands and they seem quite gallant, I'm going to say, whether it's a man or a woman. They seem like a person who you would love to have on your arm to go out, somebody who's really beautiful or very handsome, Leo energy, right? But it also feels like that this is going to be a long journey. And so you want to make sure that you're making the right decision. But one thing you do know for sure is that you do not want to be single anymore. I just pulled the Ten of Swords. So you're going to have to release everything else in favor of one. So I feel like make sure that you're making the right decision. We've got Temperance and the Four of Swords. When you feel healed, when you feel like it's time, when you no longer have questions and you're not questioning it, that's how you know that you're making the right decision. That's what Temperance is. You no longer feel like you are making the wrong decision. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Aquarius and Sagittarius, Leo and Virgo. We've got Aquarius energy and Libra. We've got Piscean energy, Taurus, Scorpio, Justice. You're going to get justice. You're going to make the right decision. We've got Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. More Aquarius, Cancer energy. Might be in Cancer season. And Gemini energy. All right. Capricorn. to see my bestie who's a Capricorn. I'm going to see her soon. Let's find out what is going on with Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. Tell me about Capricorn. Capricorn, we start with the Ace of Swords. Is that what that is? Sorry, the light's in my eyes. Yeah, Ace of Swords. We've got the Two of Wands. Okay. We've got the Eight of Swords. Now we got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. It feels like you're trying to make a decision. We've got Justice here. It feels like you want justice in something. The Eight of Swords tells me that there's something that's going round and round and round. Something that you're sort of a prisoner of that you haven't been able to make the decision about. The Two of Wands tells me there's a plan. There's a plan in place, but I'm stuck at the crossroads knowing when to put the plan in action. I don't see anything here that's telling me action. Maybe it's the Ace of Swords. Like Ace of Swords, I guess, a sort of action because it feels like a conversation, or I need to give some clarity or get some clarity. It also could be a contract we're talking about, but I feel like there's something here that worries you because the Eight of Swords is here with the Ace above it. So that's 8 swords, and it feels like it's something, sorry, the Eight of Swords and the 1 is 9. There's something here that worries you. And I think what worries you is that the opportunity that you have to invest in, is there going to be a return on investment, is what it feels like. So the Ace of Pentacles tells me, am I really ready to invest? I'm unsure. There's a question mark. So I'm going to have to talk about it, but I'm worried that my plan isn't enough, or that I'm going to have to leave the crossroads in order to be able to to figure out what I'm doing. It does feel like the Ace of Pentacles being in the reverse is being unsure about whether you want to make the before you want to plant the seed, or you want to start something new. Maybe it's a new job, maybe a new relationship, but it feels like you need to get more clarity, or an aha moment or epiphany. I need more clarity about whatever this is before I make my investment. We've got Justice on the bottom of the deck. So if it is something, it could be something that is going to release you from karma, is going to restore something or make it harmonious again. It feels like you want your justice, so you're being very careful and practical about some sort of decision that you're making, because once you leave the corner of the Two of Wands, once you leave there's no going back. It feels like you're going to make a decision about a plan that you've been thinking about for a while. We've got the Six of Wands here. We've got the Hierophant here. See, that's what it feels like. It feels like a permanent thing. So it's like the Two of Wands is like, I got the plan in place, but what I need is more information before I actually leave the Two of Wands, because once I do get in, there's no going back. The Hierophant is here and very loyal. The Hierophant is never going to step in unless they're planning on staying forever. This is somebody who I feel, with the Six of Wands being here, is like, but you could be thinking about stepping into something that puts a spotlight on you, or makes you the speaker, or it feels like you're not necessarily sure. Like, I think that you're not necessarily sure about the investment, because the investment means it brings everything out into the light, and it feels like you're not really sure if you want everyone to know your business. Tell me about the Hierophant here. I feel like your higher self is trying to give you clarity about what to do next. But I also feel like because of the Hierophant is the one who's going to make the decision and stay with it. It's a permanent decision. We do have the King of Pentacles. It's a big financial thing. Or you're changing careers. Or you're changing jobs. Like maybe you've been someplace for years. Yeah. Because once the Hierophant's in, they're usually the person that stays at the job forever, right? Right till retirement. The King of Pentacles, it could be the ruling of someone else's kingdom. And that might mean, look, maybe you're the president of the company. Maybe you're the vice president. Maybe you're a high-level political person. Or it's going to make you step into a role of that. You're a person who's going to represent the business or something like that. The face of the business. And so you can't just be doing the cha-cha in and out, right? When you're there forward facing. I feel like it's going to pay a lot if it's a new job. We've got the Chariot, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got the High Priestess. I I need to be really disciplined with my intuition. It feels like something you're protecting. Maybe you're protecting your intuition. I've got the Chariot, the Seven of Wands, and the High Priestess. The Chariot is discipline. It's also discipline that could be emotional. I'm going to have to discipline my emotions, which means you're not going to be able to have your opinion on anything, because you have to have the opinion of the company you represent or the situation you represent. It's like somebody who really doesn't like big pharma, but is going to be representing them by selling medications to doctors or something. It feels like a fundamental difference. It feels like I want to do it because it's going to, like King of Pentacles, it's going to pay me a lot. But I don't know. Traditionally, it's not something I would do, Hierophant. Because once it puts me in the spotlight, then everybody's going to see what I'm doing. So I feel like the High Priestess is asking me to tell you to protect your intuition and use that. Because once you do get in the Chariot, there's no stopping it. It's gone like a bullet train. That's it. You're not going to be able to stop it once it starts. And you're going to have to discipline how you feel about things. So maybe you're the representative of something, and they give you this page of, don't be political. Don't tell people about what church you belong to. You now are, assimilated into the company. You no longer have your own identity. It feels like that. You now take on the identity and the ownership of the business. The Seven of Pentacles is here. So I feel like you're holding back or waiting. It feels like it is quite a discipline, I'm going to say, because, the Seven of Pentacles here shows me somebody who's holding, it's a ballerina. It's the Black Swan, by the way. It's a ballerina holding a shoe. It is something new. Feels like there's a stork here. It's a bird for sure. So she's scratching her shoulder. Is it the right one? I could hurt myself if I do this. It does really feel like you're a private person and you don't really want to be told that you can't be a private person. Tell me what the outcome is here, Capricorn. We've got the Knight of Cups, got the Death card, and the Nine of Wands. I think you're trying to figure out, it almost feels like you don't have autonomy anymore. This could be a relationship, but I feel like it's something that has to do with like a major corporation or somebody who's going to expect you to take on their beliefs. But the Hierophant is here. The Hierophant has their own doctrine and their own beliefs and their own path. It doesn't mean you have to give up your beliefs, but it also means that you're not allowed to talk about it unless it's in private. Doesn't matter how you feel about religion, you got to act traditional, even if you don't like religion. Just a thing that I'm saying, right? Just a metaphor. But the Death card is here. The Death card is here with the Knight of Cups, and that sort of makes me a little bit nervous because it almost makes me feel like I'm just not going to love it. I don't know if I love it enough to do it. I could end up in the Knight of Wands. I could end up in the Nine of Wands. Tell me what's around the corner. I feel like you're totally going to have to change the way you feel, right? The Knight of Cups is here. You're totally going to have to change the way you feel about something. You're going to have to completely transform, and you're not really sure if that's what you want, Nine of Wands. But you've got to make your decision soon, because the 9 is close to the 10. We got the Hanged Man. We've got the Emperor. Well, see, there it is. That's what I feel like it is. It feels like you are not getting a job with a company. You are the company. So this could be about your company, but you could own the business. But it doesn't feel like that. Or it feels like if you know that if you go online with your company, that you no longer can be yourself. You must represent the company, be the company, act as the company. The Emperor being here tells me it's a complete empire. So they might want to put you in the president's chair, or this is your own business. But it does feel like with the Hanged Man here, it's like a perspective. I don't know. I'm going to have to change my perspective on some things then. Because how do you really speak on things that you don't believe in? People are going to know that you don't believe in what you're saying. It almost feels like, can I make enough money to change my beliefs? Like that's what it feels like here. The Page of Swords is here. I got to do a lot more digging to decide whether I'm going to give up my autonomy or not. If that's what it feels like somebody here is saying, yeah, we know you're the emperor. That's why we're hiring you. But you are going to have to give up your autonomy. We're going to give you a personality that you're going to have to step into whenever you are forward facing for our company. It feels like you're going to have to give some things up. King of Swords. Yeah. You're going to have to be details, facts. I don't feel anything about that. I'm just delivering the information. It feels like it's a big deal sort of position, but it feels like you're not allowed to have an opinion on any of it. It's like you're just sitting there reading whatever they're writing, and you're just there to be a robot for the company. But it pays everything. You end up being the emperor, right? So it's a really hard decision here. We've got the Five of Pentacles, because you might be in a job that really isn't paying you what you're worth. The Knight of Pentacles is here. And then we have the Two of Swords. So there is a decision that you're going to have to make fairly soon about whether you're staying in the Five of Pentacles or whether you're stepping into the Emperor energy. Wow. Yep. There it is. All right. Got Virgo energy here and Aries. We've got Pisces, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Sagittarius energy with Cancer. Might be in Cancer season you make this decision. We've got Aries and Pisces. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, more Taurus. Sagittarian energy. We've got Scorpio, Leo. Aquarius energy and Taurus. All right. Aquarius, how you doing, friends? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. In the next 7 days, friends, tell me what's coming up for Aquarius in the next 7 days. Tell me about Aquarius. We've got the Two of Swords. Two of Swords following me around every reading today. We've got Eight of Swords. It feels like it's a really big decision-making week for most of the signs. It feels like something's coming up to the surface, emotional. You're going to have to make a decision to let something go. Eight of Swords, Two of Swords. Something you've been thinking about over and over and over again. Yikes. And the King of Swords, your energy shows up in the reverse. So I'm going to say that Mercury retrograde is really doing a number on you. That's what it feels like. It feels as though you are not thinking clearly, or you're trying to reach an answer to something that's been hard to get the answer to, and you're feeling unclear. And it does feel like it's about releasing something. Ending it, releasing it, because the Eight of Swords is here with the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is like, but feel it out, Aquarius. Don't make the decision based on what you see. Make the decision based on what you feel. The King of Swords being in the reverse is telling me that you're not in your normal energy, Aquarius. You're not your normal self right now. Like, it feels like you're thinking about things longer. You're obsessing about things longer. It feels like this, oh yes, that's right. So we are in retrograde, right? But it's in Cancer. It's your nemesis, man, your feelings. That's what it is. So the King of Swords is here. And I feel like you're trying to make a decision, but you're trying to intellectualize the decision. And we're in Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And you're like, oh God, I don't want to make this decision in an emotional state. Look, I have all swords here. So bottom of the deck is the Five of Swords. And I started with the Two of Swords and went to the Eight of Swords, the King of Swords in reverse, and the Seven of Swords. Look, that's what it feels like. You are trying to make a decision that I feel like you don't know if you're going to make the right decision for you. Seven of Swords tells me something's concealed, or I don't see something that I think I'm missing something. So maybe you shouldn't make the decision. Look, we are in retrograde in Cancer. Mercury is in retrograde until the 23rd of July. And then after that, we're still in a 2-week sort of post-retrograde shadow. So I feel like it's almost like you're in a boat with a bunch of holes and all the water is seeping in. Like, that's what Charlie's giving me, my guide Charlie. It's like you're trying to bail the water. Buy some time. You're trying to bail the water, but it's like your emotions are encroaching on your space. And it feels like that because we are in Cancer season, and Mercury retrograde is bringing up all old feelings from the basement. I feel like the basement's full of water. Tell me about the Two of Swords. We've got the Eight of Wands. We've got the Four of Swords. More swords, friends. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles. Why can't I just heal myself from this? I think you're trying to heal yourself from this, from making some sort of wrong decision. But I don't think you're thinking clear right now, friend. It does feel like with the Queen of Pentacles that it has something to do with where you live, how you are, like time, effort, energy, money, how you're dispersing your time, effort, or energy or money to other people, making big purchases. Not a great idea if there's a lot of contract work, because being in retrograde. But the Queen of Pentacles tells me it could also be your health. Like maybe you're in thinking so much, thinking that it's not, like it's impacting your health, because the Four of Swords is here with the Queen of Pentacles. I think that maybe you want to focus on yourself, and that might be the big decision here, that you want to move forward, Eight of Wands, or you want to tell somebody, look, I got to focus on me and heal myself. But it feels like you can't find the words to say it. With the King of Swords in the reverse, with the Seven next to the Seven of Swords, it tells me that you're really worried that you're going to say something wrong. And you probably will. I'm just saying, with the King of Swords in the reverse, you're not thinking clearly, and you just might, right, you know what I mean? Like, I can't deal with this, and just throw it out there, not sugarcoat it. It'll feel like you stabbed somebody. Not for real, just metaphorically, right? It feels like that. We've got the Three of Cups. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, and we've got the Chariot. So if the Three of Cups is celebration, it also could be reunion. You could be thinking about, retrograde. Maybe you want to reunite with somebody here. It feels like it is a destined reunion. The Wheel of Fortune is right here. I feel like the hardest part for you, the King of Swords in the reverse, is out of sorts. And sorts, S-O-R-T-S, not swords, is out of sorts. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune that something here is changing. It's like you're in a street fight with the universe to change your mind. The universe is trying to get you to change your mind in order to expand, to match whatever is your destiny. But it also feels like the Chariot's here. So the Chariot to me is discipline of the emotions, discipline period, but it's also moving forward really quickly. If I get in the Chariot and move too quickly, I'm not going to be in charge of my emotions after this. It feels like I don't want to make a decision emotionally. I want to make a decision intellectually, and my mind is failing me. It feels like I can't intellectualize anything. I feel very emotional. It feels like you do want to see somebody again. It does feel like you want to repair something or make something healthier. And it feels like I just want to do it with words. I don't want to have to do it with my feelings. Queen of Cups. No luck, friend. Sorry. Queen of Cups is here. It's all coming out to the top. If you decide to do this, whatever I'm talking about, if you decide to do this in Mercury retrograde, I got it right here. I gotta keep looking at it because Mercury retrograde and I can't remember anything. But I think that if you are doing this in Mercury retrograde, I feel like all the feelings come to the surface. All the feelings that you've been trying to stifle and discipline, I feel like they come to the surface because the Wheel of Fortune's here, and it'll be a runaway train. I feel like you're going to have so many emotions about this, about some sort of reunion. It feels like there is somebody here that you really trust, somebody who is the Queen of Pentacles, that makes you feel good. They make you feel stable and good and accounted for and seen. Somebody who may take care of you and feed you and invite you over and that kind of thing. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Six of Swords. We've got the Ace of Swords. We're pulling all the swords today. What's going on here? Seven swords. There's only 10 in the deck. Seven swords. Seven swords cards. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like you see the value in having a reunion with somebody who I feel has your values. I'm just going to say, because the Queen and the King of Pentacles are here. Somebody who really does take good care of themselves. Somebody who is maybe runs their own kingdom, whether it's a queen or a king. Whether you're the king or the queen, I feel like you're the king probably. But it feels like you are observing somebody from a distance at this time. The Six of Swords is here, and it's still not clear to you about whether you want to move forward or not. I would say the Six of Swords here and the Wheel of Fortune, it's already on. You've already made the decision. I feel like once you wonder if you're going to make the decision, it's already in motion. You've already made the decision. Now it's just really picking up the details, the practical details of how you're going to say it or speak it, because the King of Pentacles is here, who's the very practical, slow-moving one. But the Page of Swords is really not good with their words, though, because they'll just say something and, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's like a child, right? They don't have a really big vocabulary, not huge. They can get along, but they don't have a huge vocabulary. It feels like I'm scared that something I say will become permanent. That's like it'll become permanent record. That's what it feels like. Tell me what's around the corner for Aquarius. We've got King of Wands, and we have the Hanged Man and the Nine of Cups. Okay, so I think you're in this place of trying to get perspective about whether you want to pursue something, and it does feel like it has something to do with how you feel about someone, because the Queen of Cups is here. The Nine of Cups is here. Is this going to give me my wish fulfillment? Will I be super happy if I make this decision? But I feel like right now you're in a pause trying to find perspective. Yeah, because the Hanged Man is sitting here looking at the King of Wands. Do I have enough wisdom? If I do go for it, is this really something that I want? Will it make me happy? Is this really, like, I feel like the Nine of Cups tells me you're already happy, so you're not depending on the outcome of the situation, whether it's going to make you happy or sad. There's a lot of people who depend completely on the outcome of a situation as to whether they're going to be happy or sad, but you're not letting your feelings be dragged around like that. I feel like you are looking at things in a perspective way. It just feels like this is something that's outside of your comfort zone. The Four of Cups is here. Look, the Three Cups is on the bottom, right? We already pulled the Three Cups, but then there's one cup at the top. So it feels like you are ignoring somebody's offer because you can't intellectualize it at this time. And I feel like you want to say it, but you don't want to hurt somebody, but you know it's already in motion. And it feels like this person is somebody who has your same moral values. They move the same. There's someone, if you're successful, they're successful. It feels like we're running our own empires or our own kingdoms. That's what it feels like. The Five of Swords is here, but what if we have fundamental differences? What if we get sitting down to talking, we have this reunion, and I realize nothing's changed? That everything is still the way it was. That this person hasn't changed their mind about anything. It almost feels like you are feeling the emotions of a situation, and it's hard for you to intellectualize it right now because Mercury, right? It doesn't really help us with all of the memories, right? But we're feeling emotional because of past things that might be coming up again. I hope that makes sense. Okay. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. More Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. We've got Gemini energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, more Sagittarius, and Gemini. All right. Pisces. Last but never least, right? My two fishes friends, my water family, how you doing? Let's find out what's going on for Pisces in the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Pisces. Next 7 days for Pisces, please. We've got the Page of Swords. Ooh, with the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Let me feel that for a second. It almost feels like there is some sort of observation going on, and you're waiting for the right time, or somebody's waiting for the right time for something. Oh, the Knight of Cups is here, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this is an interesting Eight of Wands, right? You can see all of the wands busting in through the window. So it almost feels like, look, this could be you, but it could be somebody outside of you or a situation you're observing. And I'm only saying that because the Page of Swords is here with observation, digging up information, trying to get clarity on something. But the Wheel of Fortune being here says, you're going to have it. It'll come up in time. When it's the right time, you'll know when destiny's here. And it's time to change your mind about how you feel about something, because the King of Cups is here. Sorry, the Knight of Cups, not the King of Cups. So it feels like you feel deeply about something. It feels like it's probably about an Ace of Cups. It feels like you're trying to like feel around and figure out how you feel about something. The Knight of Cups is your energy. That is Piscean energy. It feels like something is not quite clear, I would say. Not quite clear about a decision-making process. But the Eight of Wands is going to show up. It feels like, boom, all of a sudden somebody's looking you in the face. Like it shows up right away on the horse in front of you with the cup. Like, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it's going to show up. And destiny might be attached to the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands and not necessarily to the Ace of, or to the Page of Swords. So it's almost like you're sitting there watching something on your phone in a restaurant. I'm seeing this, right? Charlie is showing me somebody in a restaurant watching on their phone. I don't know who it is because I can only see somebody just holding their phone. And then all of a sudden someone taps you on the shoulder. Hey, how you doing? Like it feels like that. You're not going to know because it feels like it's going to, damn it. It's going to sneak up behind you. Oh God, hang on. Now, when cards fall to the floor, sometimes I pick them up and sometimes I don't, because sometimes I don't feel like I should. And so I go with my feeling, because I wouldn't be a Pisces moon if I didn't do that. And then when I do dive for the cards, if they are face up, I leave them face up. There we go. So we've got the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. That's the next two cards out here. The Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles. One more card. And then we have the Hanged Man. Yeah. Yup. It's going to happen in the 3D, friends. It feels like you're out by yourself somewhere, walking the mall, at the restaurant. It feels like, it does feel like the Hanged Man. It's like you're really into getting some sort of perspective. And I'm going to say that you're looking, it feels like you're looking down, looking at something on your phone. Maybe you're looking up, maybe you're watching TV. It feels like you're in a public place though, and you're not aware of your surroundings for a moment. But the Queen of Pentacles is here. It's like you're very confident, you're sitting in a place where you're comfortable, you're not worried. So I feel like you're like looking around you, or you're looking down at your phone or something like that, and then boom, it shows up. The Lovers is here. Maybe I'm saying boom, it shows up. You finally made your choice about something. And you feel very centered about it because the Queen of Pentacles is here. It could be a person. I'm just saying it could be. But not everybody's dealing in a situation with a person. But the Lovers is also a choice. So maybe you've been having a hard time making a choice about something that involved a lot of money or a purchase. Maybe you're at the mall. That's what I'm saying, right? Like it feels like you've been, maybe you're going to get your hair done or your nails done. It feels like, or you're going to buy that suit. It feels like you're looking down at your phone, trying to figure out what you want to do, getting a perspective. You're in a pause for a moment, not aware of your surroundings, and then someone or something shows up. We've got the Four of Cups here. It feels like for a moment you're sort of in your comfort zone until someone rocks you out of your comfort zone. The Eight of Wands comes smashing through the window. Not literally, right? But energy all of a sudden, boom, brings something in. So I feel like with the Four of Cups here and the Seven of Wands here, interesting. Protecting what I know. But it's interesting that the Page of Swords is showing up next to this Four of Cups, because look, it's all books. So it feels like somebody here is, look, that person's got their hand over their face. It's like, I don't really see what's going on around me. I'm very comfortable in the place that I'm in. And then the Seven of Wands is here. Yeah, I feel like you are, oh, and the Devil shows up. Something that is still attached to you. Interesting. Something or someone that's still attached to you. And I'm not saying that they're a devil. That's not what I'm saying. They could be a Capricorn. But it feels like an attachment that you never let go of. That's what it feels like. So somebody who never let go of their energy. I do feel, though, like with the Seven of Wands, it does feel like boundaries. And it feels as though comfort zone, boundaries, and then Eight of Wands, boom. It feels like an attachment shows up. So somebody you've dated or somebody you've known, and like maybe it's a childhood friend or a relative you haven't seen in a while. At the moment of alchemy, Temperance shows up. Now, this isn't something that I feel that you feel bad about, you don't feel good about. When Temperance shows up, it's because everything is even or balanced. Something here comes into balance really quickly. You feel very good, very content about the situation. So I'm going to say that whomever is showing up that is still attached to you energetically, I feel almost like maybe you have manifested this person, Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. It almost feels as if you've been thinking about them, or maybe you're even watching something on your phone that has to do with them. Like, it feels like that. You are a witch. That's what it feels like here. So the Temperance card is here, and it feels like it balances everything or restores something. But it does feel like you are in this energy of feeling safe within your boundaries when this attachment shows up. It's something you were never able to let go of, someone you were never able to let go of, or a situation you were never able to let go of. It shows up again. Retrograde, Cancer. It could be something emotional. The outcome, well, what the hell? Page of Cups. What the heck? Right? Shocking. Four of Pentacles is reversed. Come on. And then the Ten of Swords. So look, the Page of Cups is here with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Pentacles in reverse for me is vulnerability. I'm now open to it. I'm open to the details of it. I'm open to see more than I saw before. And then the Ten of Swords is here. So the Four of Pentacles in the reverse with the Ten of Swords feels like if you've got different information to show me about why this painful ending happened, or the betrayal happened, or you stabbed me in the back, if you've got additional information to show me, I'm open to it. But I feel like you're going to be surprised about something that I think makes you feel good. I don't think it makes you feel bad, because the Page of Cups is never bad news. And neither is Temperance. No. So I feel that you're going to have the bump in with somebody. And I feel like it's someone that you're still connected to, because the Lovers is here and they are holding hands. It feels like the Lovers is here, so is the Devil, and it feels like you're minding your business, trying to make a decision about something, and for a moment you are not aware of your surroundings. Tell me what's around the corner for Pisces. We've got the Three of Swords, we've got the Strength card, and we've got the Sun. It's like you switch into courage mode and you start seeing everything for what it is. The Three of Swords tells me that something was not right, something was disappointing or heartbreaking, and you found the courage to step out into the sun and be happy anyway and keep moving forward. The Six of Pentacles, somebody showing up that wants to talk to you. It is a tumultuous conversation. Look, I can't. What is with you? Look at this. The Tower and the King of Cups. It's going to rock you off your center of gravity, because the Tower is here. You're not expecting it. And it's just going to show up. And it does feel like it's a partnership now. It feels like this is somebody that you know, that you used to trust, that you were partnerships with. You could have worked with them possibly, and they saw you and they want to talk. Somebody is going to be stepping in to give you clarity. Now, whether this is about a romantic thing, there's nothing here that says that we run off into the sunset. I'm just saying it's the bump in. Feels like somebody wants to stabilize something. We're here. Why not? We're here. Let's do it. But it does feel like it was somebody's plan to find you, to seek you out, to give you information. So maybe they know that you go to the mall, or they know where you are, or that you do business at a certain place. But it feels like this is something that's deeply emotional that you've been kept under the surface. Either they've been keeping it under the surface or you have. But with the Tower here, it does feel like you're not expecting it. But the Tower here in the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, that is an awakening. It's like, what? what? Like with the page, it feels like, what? Why now? And why here? Like it feels like that. I'm just going to put a card down here with this devil energy. I'm just going to split the deck. See what this is. Queen of Swords. Yikes. So I feel like you're not going to be easy on them, Pisces. I feel like you're just going to say it. Whatever you think they need to hear, you're just going to say it, friend. I don't think you care if they like it or not, because the truth doesn't give a shit if you like the truth. I always say, right? And so, yeah, it does feel like you're just rocked off your center of gravity. It does feel like this person is someone who has hurt you or betrayed you, or someone who ghosted you, or whatever the Ten of Swords means to you. But the Three of Swords is here as well. You had to find the courage to carry on, heal yourself, and be happy. So I think that there's a very practical conversation that goes on here because the Six of Pentacles is here. But it's destiny, friend. And I think there's still some feelings here because the King of Cups is showing up. All right. That's it. Oh, yeah, I should tell you. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius is here. More Sag. Got Pisces. More Sag. Lots of Sag. It's going to be exciting and fun, I feel like, when Sag shows up. We've got Capricorn here. We've got Leo. We've got more Leo. 2 Leos side by each here. We've got Gemini energy. Could go this way or that way. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. All right. It is retrograde in Cancer after all, right? Mercury is retrograding in Cancer. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, as always. Thank you so much. Let me get up from my desk here. Eventually, I'm going to find a way to shut this off without having to get up. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.